in weeks 1 and 2, it's been kind of tussling between Team Liquid and Alpha 7 in that 1 and 2 slot. But right now, they're 4th overall with Inko and Hyper ahead of them. And yeah, this is what we were worried about.
This is huge. This is Influence Rage, and that's a second knock. 2 knocked. Be Bold are going to push this hard. And if you're Influence Rage, you need a knock right here to slow them down so you can get this reset. You can see Milo, he's hurrying up. Yeah, he's trying to push this with a DBS. But he's got to watch out because Lorenzen does have a shotgun himself. Milo, I think he heard the tick from that nade, so he's backing off. Looks like Influence Rage will get a reset on one of their players. Diego's a little bit too far out, though, so this is one of the big things, Tiff, right? When you're in a position like Influence Rage is, sometimes you err on the side of safety, and that could make you second-guess yourself. And with how they're playing right now, it doesn't look like they're even going to attempt going for Diego. Yeah, he's really far out in the open.
And this is tough, and a lot of this is driven by the zone pulling so far towards that center north, and Fran is going to go ahead and grab that full E-limb onto Diego, and they're kind of, I'm not going to say in shambles here, they just don't have a lot of resources available. We're just like looking for scraps at this point, even for heals, and it's interesting that this is Be Bold on the opposing side, because Dave and I yesterday were just waiting for Be Bold to get active. And the fact is they come in swinging today here on day 14, and the team that we're going up against is Influence Rage, who cannot afford to have any games like this.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a set play by Be Bold, because we know that them and Influence Rage normally share this spot right here. So they normally share Yasnaya, but with what is at stake, I think Be Bold said, hey, let's just try to pop them out early and make them question themselves. And they did exactly that. So if you are Be Bold and you're trying to pull off that miracle run, this is exactly what you need to do. And Law goes down.
And Law was one of the players that was doing so impressive yesterday in general, but this is tough. Like, at the end of the day, does Federal and Milovan just kind of leave here and just focus, maybe grab a vehicle and just head up north and just say, I don't know if we can get you, Law, you're inside this building and we're going to have to lay siege to it? No, Federal is going straight in, looking for angles. Lorenzen on the other side here, breaks the door to give him even more accessibility through it.
Yeah. I think they have to fight this at this point, right? Because this is their double points day. They can't afford just running as a duo and just getting anything simple. They need something big. And unfortunately, Law is completely trapped. So they don't have to kind of go extra aggressive. They err on the side of safety. Federal is up here, though. He's able to get this initial knock. He could get something done. Nah, he's trapped. He's got to get this one here. Through the window. Back and forth, back and forth. Oh, my gosh. Runs in, now spots him. He's in trouble.
This is chaos. I thought you were going to hit me with a through the window, through the wall kind of vibe, but Federal down back on the lower floor.
He's sweating.
We are just finally able to get around towards where Law is, but honestly, 10 seconds is going to be needed. You're going to bait that and immediately dive back inside, but just trying to isolate the Be Bold players is kind of crazy right now.
Oh! He catches David and gets the instant flush. So where's the teammate? Did he take off as well, or is he here? I'm trying to find him. Oh no, Milovan's completely far away from this, so it really is just all Federal.
Maybe it's just Milovan go play placement. At the end of the day, we have to stick this res. Time is of the essence, and I think Be Bold is going to start to sense that, but we're not going to be able to have that. It cost your life. The flank comes in. Now, Milovan, the solo. Only one elimination for Influence Rage after the chaos.
Terrible play, and in my opinion, I think Milovan should have just committed. I mean, just either make something happen, make a miracle play against Be Bold, or just go out, because placement points are just too rough at this point, Tiff, right? We've seen so many times these, especially in a zone like this, you're going to have to pull off a miracle to get placement, and we'll see. We'll see if it ends up paying off. I don't think it will, though, because, I mean, what is it? 8th place on down is 0 points. You have to get to 8th to even get 1 point at all.
Hear me out. Okay. I think they saw all the solo hero plays from yesterday.
Could be.
Maybe they're like, you know what? It's time to let Milovan cook. But for now, this is where it started. Yeah, it just straight out the vehicle, and they just rolled up, picked off one, and then kept it moving. That's
my gosh. What's even crazier is this is the M16 on single tap. M16 single tapping away, gets the double knock. unbelievable. And yeah, I mean, Be Bold, they did lose a player kind of needlessly there. But still, I mean, to get a 1-up on Influence Rage, at the end of the day, that's their goal. It's worth more to shut down Influence Rage than get points yourself.
I mean, Death Wolves are sliding you a check right across the sea from land. Like, all right, I see you there. We appreciate what you're doing, because at the end of the day, Death Wolves are 12 points out of Influence Rage right there, and that's what we're talking about. They're like, if you're not going to be able to get double points, then Death Wolves still in it are going to be able to be like, thank you so much. Granted, no eliminations thus far, and Alpha 7 has 3, B-Bolt has 3, and Royals of War, you heard some bits from them earlier today saying they want to do everything that they can to get into 4th place, but they're currently in 8th, so we've got a journey.
People's double points day was yesterday, so at this point, they know that they're just trying to climb the leaderboard to the best they possibly can. Royals of War, though, getting into it with 9Z. Over here on the north side, this is a very good spot to hold, especially that plateau right there where Elite is. That's a very, very strong position. But it doesn't look like 9Z are going to take it. Yeah, they're just going to kind of pop some shots off here and take off. Meanwhile, Kogo, yeah, he's looking to hold that position for now. I'm surprised more of the Royals of War player aren't trying to play this position right here where Kogo is. It is a very, very strong spot.
I do like it, just kind of working with the topography on Erangel. Maybe just keep scouting out on 9Z as well, and it looks like maybe they'll just kind of hit the road moving. But Royals of War goes, and elsewhere, Koi, Dragon here on your screen. We're losing Koi down to 3 for SLR. Kind of unfortunate, but they have the potential to unseat 9Z for 14th place and work towards, maybe where Titan Gaming is, but Titan Gaming on their double points day can break 400 today, which would be nice.
That would be good. That would be really good. I mean, that's what you want to do, is just put up as much as you can, as you heard from their interview, right? Which is looking to do good on double points day. And Team Castle with 513 would have to have a monster performance here if they wanted to make anything happen. Royals of War is in the same boat, but I want to see them just stay active, right? If you're Royals of War, I do like the fact that they were hunting down 9Z there, because they know that, hey, if we even wanted to stand a chance, we need to get crazy eliminations. Like yesterday, 9Z, a chicken dinner with 1 elimination ain't gonna cut it.
No, and they had another win, and it was with 2 eliminations, so a little bit better, but yeah, still same, but no.
Right.
But it shows they can win, and honestly, the wins that they had were wild, right? We had that 1v1 there with N-Hyper in map number 6, and then
crazy.
On drop number 2, it was against Team Liquid, and it was a 1v2.
Unreal.
At the end,
and that's what happens so many times, is we see teams that are like so down on the leaderboards toward the end of the tournament, they just start going crazy because all that pressure is off of them.
That's true. It must feel free.
It must be, because I mean, if you're at 9Z, what do you have to lose at this point? You just took down Mafioso's knocked. That's tough, but they should be able to get the stick the res here. But here comes Be Bold. Yeah, Alpha 7 in trouble. Did they see that knock play? They had to have.
No, they just keep on going. They're like, we got places to be, things to do. No, they got to double back. And Lorenzen falls to Carrillo. Revo comes in, wanting to make sure that he can maintain that top elims over Mythic. Doesn't want Mythic to get anywhere close. Fran with the nades trying to come through. Can we connect and make something of that? Just short.
Just short indeed. I cannot believe Carrillo got that off. That's ridiculous. Be Bold, just kind of full sending it at this point here. Not able to get the thirst onto Alpha 7. And they should have. I mean, with how split up they were, if they just sent everybody to that rock, they would have been able to get a win. But, hey, it happens. Meanwhile, Team Liquid, right? The team on top right now. 1 elimination so far. They're looking to extend that lead so far that there's nothing that Alpha 7 can do tomorrow. But Alpha 7, they're roaring back. 5 eliminations already.
That's the way to do it. SLR over here on the other side. Titan Gaming, there goes inactive. Seen them get into the mix with quite a few teams. I know, so they lost some members of Team Liquid earlier, so they're kind of a duo at this point. Koi went out the first time we saw them on the broadcast. But for Dragon now, working with Woshan, we'll see what they're going to be able to scrape up together and make the best of what they can. Titan Gaming, down to a solo. Be Bold, down to a solo. Influence Rage, still maintaining with Milovan. somewhere.
Milo needs to pull something out crazy. I think he's hanging out in the middle in that shack, which is, the strategy you're going to do. But at the end of the day, you need that zone to literally pop on top of you if you want to even stand a chance. We'll see what happens, though. Maybe he's able to snake away at least one placement point, but more often than not, it just doesn't work at this kind of level. Meanwhile, Death Wolves, right? Death Wolves, I'll tell you what, out of all the tournaments that are looking for that group stage ticket, I think this team has really had that Cinderella story. They have put in so much work here, and it's kind of crazy because it's going to come down to the last day. And I wonder on the last day if we're going to see teams like Inko and stuff look to try and shut them down. That'll be interesting to see.
It will, and honestly, Rado Boy is sitting at 94 eliminations, so looking for 100, as well as Guazo, who's sitting at 99. So 2 players that could break into the triple digits. Would be cool to see that, especially here, considering they're 13 points back from Influence Rage after map number 1's performance so far, and just waiting. At this point, if you can just go hunt out, figure out, oh, they're a solo, you eliminate them, they deny them any more placement points, and you just keep out-fragging them throughout these games, you're going to be just fine. And, well, Ayala is not fine, as SLR looks to enact some revenge here.
Oh, boy. Well, let's see how, and he sure does. Look at that Mythic putting in work. 2 eliminations so far. Super Lazy Reflex are now out of here. First team out on the second to last day of this tournament. Next zone goes on up, and we have a nice hard shift on over to Team Liquid side. So a very fortunate zone shift for them.
That is pretty big. We'll have to see how that works. I believe only 2 of them are going to be left standing here for the end of it. And AGG takes that top area, but for 9Z on your screen, still a duo. This time it's Elite last standing and Royals of War on the other side. It's their double points day, and well, Elite wants to shut them down.
I mean, and this is what he does. This is what 9Z do. I mean, at this point, they are just playing spoilers for the rest of the lobby, and NRG are going to finally take them out. So that's 9Z eliminated. And it's so crazy to see these teams get aggressive when, at this point, it's inconsequential for them, right? I mean, Entity 7 are on the push as well. Oh, that's Fran eliminated. So that's Be Bold now, God. And a crucial point for Team Kessel. But now NRG's on the push. Rules of War need to make something happen.
Hey, they need to, but for now, Entity 7 trying to rotate out. J7 grabs Hate, doubles back down, has to contend with Wako, and falls across the way. A little bit of a brawl here, and Royals of War could come out of their building after a nice reset from that engagement. What can Malaz do to try and clean things up and save it?
This whole team is getting shredded right here. It's just, and that's it. They all went out. Malaz just needs to go on the push at this point. He does get that confirmation, but Royals of War come and clean him out. So they're the one that get all the eliminations. Meanwhile, Malaz is going to have to defend himself against Royals of War. Oh, he's down to 1 HP.
We are trying to make it work, but when you just swing and go for the fences there, it's tough. And now Fate in the vehicle trying to get away, but not. Gonna have to see you in the next one because, man, 3 eliminations, though, after all that. But for Royals of War in the blue, get on out of there. Okay, we do.
Barely. I mean, that's 7 eliminations, too. That's a great start for Royals of War, but on this one, they're going to have to just full send it. Now we're going to see a pull up to the gas station. Eco with some nice little plays out of a vehicle. Who's this against? This is against Eco. This is a huge fight. Death Wolves need to shut them down, and it looks like they do.
Okay, 5th and 3rd place team overall going at it. And then Abete says, I'm going to try to make something of this. Elsewhere, Royals of War has found Alpha 7, not a team that you want to run into. And then Abete, last alive, is like, we need to maintain. We are in 3rd place. We could not sacrifice any more points, and they're sitting on 0 eliminations.
Yeah, not just sacrificing points, right, but also giving some to Death Wolves. That's the team that's going to catch us on the last day. So I am not shocked at all to see Nenebete just really just full send it out of here. He's trying to find a spot. This dip right here is okay at best. Not the best. I told you, it is not the best position. Chief saw it, took him out. Eco Gaming are gone.
Wow, that's going to open the door for Death Wolves for not only Influence Rage, but like you said, they don't have their double points day until tomorrow. So if they can really claw back at that differential that's between them to really just have that Cinderella story tomorrow, it'd be crazy.
Yeah, not just claw back, right? But stop, right? Just hold Inko down, as well as Influence Rage. Honestly, Influence Rage is the bigger threat at this point.
Yeah.
But with how this has been going so far, this is a perfect situation for Death Wolves. Because right now, Influence Rage, one elimination with only one player up. This is a perfect game for Death Wolves. And now it's just time to soak up some more points on the board.
It's true, and we got a good look at the map and kind of where it shifted. Yes, it goes back west, but Milovan is not in that play zone. We'll have to rotate north, and you've got Royals of War just ahead of you, Alpha 7 to your right, so it's not going to be the easiest journey. You're going to have to play very small, make that presence as stealth as you can, and AGG, nothing stealth about them, looking down the sights at Team Liquid, just taking some shots, but for now, we're going to have to see how they approach this. They have the player advantage against Team Liquid.
Yes, they do. Team Liquid need to put up some more points on the board. I mean, they already have a massive gap. That Alpha 7 is going to be so difficult for them to pass up on, but you never want to count them out. And I think Team Liquid realizes that. So their whole goal is to just make a spread so big that Alpha 7 cannot catch them. But look how Alpha 7 starting. 7 eliminations already. And they could have got that last one on a limb, but they did not want to risk popping out of the vehicle. So they know what's at stake here.
That's crazy. I mean, they did get a win yesterday on Erangel with 16 eliminations. Would love to see them double down and kind of beat that for them and maybe get at least 17. But at the end of the day, when you've got 28 players left in the lobby and 24 potential eliminations for Alpha 7, it can happen. It can happen, especially if you're maintaining your space on that south side of the zone with a couple teams nearby you.
Yeah, this is a tough circle because it's just literally all open field. You can see it. It's all about those holding down these little baby hills. Medelas, as they call them down here in down in South Texas. You got to be able to hold it down. And we're going to see right now is Team Castle is going to start throwing out some smokes, holding that position. It's just all snake play.
I love the snake play. I love what you did there. I'm going to double down and go away from that subject, but Milovan just won an isolated 1v1 against Artruzen from Furia. I understand that he gets picked off from the other member of Furia, but falls, but at least he grabs another elim before he goes down.
Elim with trying to pre-fire it, and he got McGrillen pretty low here, but that S12K, that's where it's at. So Titan Gaming do go out. 8 teams remaining. And now is where we're going to start seeing some teams get some placement points as Team Castle battling it out with Death Wolves. That's not the ride that you want to get here, especially at this stage.
No, not if you're Death Wolves and you want to break into 4th place. Now, mind you, Influence Rage and Inko Gaming are both out. This is Death Wolves' chance to grab those eliminations in this open field, and Team Queso is just like, no, this is mine. Silence, trying to literally silence Death Wolves. And now you can see the smokes and the tree using some vehicles for cover, and Ego was on fire, quite literally.
Oh, he was on fire, but he's back up, and Guizao has got 3 eliminations so far. They tried to go for that run over, but they realized he's an isolated player. Yes, full send him, get him taken out. You need every point you can get, and you want to put Team Queso at bay just in case here, and Hyper are actually going to get this circle.
Ooh.
Alpha 7 are on the edge. They're going to probably end up pushing this very, very soon. It's anyone's game.
It's true.
Nice finish.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now they're going to really clean this area out. It's tough because with it being so open, it's going to be hard to really make those rotations unless you have vehicles. And with Death Wolves kind of up here on that northwestern side, they need to finish Team Queso, but they have Furia at the backs of Team Queso, so they're essentially being sandwiched, which puts a lot of pressure on them. And if Death Wolves decides to put too much focus on a Team Queso, I'm weary that All Glory Gaming will just be like, okay, this is our time to kind of full send.
Yeah, fight timing is so important right here. If you fight just a little too early, you're going to get third-partied. And All Glory Gaming are definitely in a position where they need to do that sooner than later because there's hardly any coverage here. You want to be able to secure an entire side of this map, but they're so far away. They have some vehicles, though. We'll see which side they decide to push to. They can push down to Team Liquid or right over here to Team Castle. Meanwhile, McGrellin and Alpha 7 are racking up the eliminations. 9 so far.
Wow, Royals of War out with 7 eliminations. That's pretty powerful considering you get to multiply that by 2 thanks to bonus points here. But still chilling the solo on our screen, just kind of overlooking the Death Wolves. But once we have to start seeing blue come in, Alpha 7 starting to rotate into that next play zone, keeping that pressure onto Team Liquid, which is tough.
That's the team that they need to pass up. So they realize that Team Liquid's on this side. I would not be shocked at all if we see Alpha 7 just really hard press this side of the map. You don't want Team Liquid to get any points at all. So I'm kind of shocked to see Alpha 7 just kind of play this a little passive. I understand that they need a lot of points. Yeah, no. You see Carrillo, he's looking right in this direction.
He is trying to do anything that he can to find Chief behind that tree. Now, Chief is not in the next play zone. Will have to move. Alpha 7 has kind of spread out on that southeastern side, has taken space, and N-Hyper is in the dead center of the zone. There goes Chief. Down and out. 3 eliminations. But you know, N-Hyper, after that Game 6 that we got to witness at the top of the show, to bring you up to speed on that one, Hot Jukes, I want to see them take drop 1 win here on Aaron Gale. I want to see it happen.
Let's go. I mean, no eliminations. They're playing it very passive, which I'm kind of shocked, but at the same time, not so much, because it's kind of difficult to hold that position where FS is. If he jumps up or even looks out one of those windows, he's getting a shot. But N-Hyper need to get active. Chief, very, very smart to deny the point. He needs to deny points from only one team, and that's Alpha 7. He knew that that's the squad that was looking right at him. So he just said, I'd rather go out to Blue Zone. But can N-Hyper pull off this win? If this zone centers up, it's definitely possible.
Anything can happen. It's kind of been our motto for the past couple of games that we've been witnessing, but everyone just playing very low sights. You're right, not wanting to peek out the windows, but still looking for information. And I love that we're going to see where that circle does pop here, because if it does center up on N-Hyper, you know that next threat is going to be, wow, it's going to be Furia having to rotate straight in, and that collapse between Alpha 7, N-Hyper, and Furia, because they're all going to want coverage from this building.
Yeah, they all want to push this building. The problem is that the first team that pushes it is going to go out, because if Alpha 7 push first, Beauty are going to third party, and vice versa, right? So it's all about the timing here. I think Alpha 7 are going to play this very, very slow, just edge on in. There's still 2 more zone shifts, so anything can happen.
Dun, dun, dun. We'll have to wait and see. It's only a matter of time, but at the end of the day, Alpha 7 is sitting on 10. I was wanting them to best that 16 elimination win yesterday, and the rogue shots coming in. We've got to be safe here, Team Queso. You're so far out from where you need to be for that next play zone, and that is a tough rotation here.
Oh, yeah. Team Queso just stuck in the zone. We're going to see a lot of people go out to blue here, and that's just the way it is at this point. He's going to run out into the open. Does anybody spot him? Nope. He does find a tree, but that is not the tree he needs to be at.
No, we got to keep on moving.
Further. Yep. Keep on moving.
Oh, but the Death Wolves swarming over there in the left with the vehicles and the boulder, and you've got Alpha 7 out towards the right, and Furia as well. AGG directly across the play zone from you. We'll just have to wait and see what they decide to do. But for Death Wolves, the duo on 6 eliminations. Now, mind you, if they win this and pick up more eliminations, they can leapfrog over Influence Rage, but Team Case are not going to make it out.
Yeah, not going to make it out. He was stuck wide in the open. Nothing he could do. And Hyper, though, they have the only coverage on this side of the map. They just got to focus on not getting pushed. And you can see them starting to apply that pressure. Rightfully so. Finally, we see Caprice get outside of the building. That's what N-Hyper's been needed to do. Step outside and start getting into it. But Alpha 7 in absolute war here with Furia.
Yeah, but Baton Stars, they're already shooting from their buildings. They're taking out members from multiple squads. And, okay, Furia, can we finish this out? But it's the last one standing here. Death Wolves eliminated at 6 eliminations. N-Hyper's really going to play spoiler from their buildings.
About time. N-Hyper step out, said we need some eliminations ourselves, and you're going to see Augustus go out here to the blue zone. It's all an N-Hyper chicken dinner. Right when Alpha 7 were taken out, N-Hyper said, all right, it's time to get busy.
Oh, no.
6 eliminations so far. That's how you do it.
This is the same thing we experienced yesterday, though. All members of N-Hyper are alive, and we're looking for Fran. But this time, Fran's in a building, probably going to deny that elimination from them, but it's not going to be enough. Caprice picks it enough, and well, N-Hyper, how does that one feel after yesterday? Congrats on that winner chicken dinner.
You want to know why? Because the candle's lit, baby. That is what I'm talking about. N-Hyper said, no, okay, we're not going to let that happen. One more time. Smiles on their faces. great for Hyper and great for NA, right? In a whole, to see them finally showing up here in this tournament, it makes me excited for the fall season, Taylor.
Heck yeah, man. They don't make the same mistake twice, which is great. Mind you, they left off with that mistake, so it's nice to see them actually, fixing that mistake at the very end. And I love how Hyper gets aggressive, Tiff. They needed that. Aggression is great at times, right? And sometimes it turns into recklessness, but they made the right play pushing with Furia onto Alpha 7. I was looking at stage number 7. I'm like, all right, Hyper, Alpha 7, they're both in zone. Everybody else, they've got Papa Blue to their back. This is a great spot for Hyper and Alpha 7 to be in, but I know A7 was not expecting both teams, Furia and Hyper, to push them.
Yeah, I would have expected the Furia push right off the rip because they're rotating in from that same side. But for Hyper, who are sitting in that building with 0 eliminations, that's what we're talking about just moments prior, right? And Hot Jukes is like, okay, yeah, this is great. You've got positioning, but we need to find some sort of eliminations. They actually leave the compound and just start cleaning. Oh, yeah, this moment, right? This was tough to watch.
Well, this is a big moment, Hot Jukes, because Influence Rage, obviously, they're the closest to breaking into top 4, at least maintaining a spot in top 4. And Be Bold and Influence Rage have been going at it the past 2 days.
And I think Be Bold had enough, right? I think they said, hey, you know what? You've annoyed us all tournament long by landing this close. It's time we shut down your hopes and dreams, So it's tough because Be Bold, there's no way they're catching them. This is a point. This is just all about ego.
I agree. Be Bold, the team that yesterday had a chance to potentially catch up. Unfortunately, their double points did not go well. Because of that, they will fall down. But Tiff, this was also, a decent game for Rules of War. 7 eliminations, 8th place. But I think the real winner here has to be Deathwolves, a team that is still waiting on the double points tomorrow. They finish in 4th place with 6 eliminations, and just, continuing to separate themselves. At least off of game 1, looking like one of the best teams to potentially maintain top 4.
Yeah, if you're looking for that ESWC survival stage slot, this is the way to do it. Especially with Be Bold kind of there, taking down Influence Rage, it kind of opens the door for you to start really working towards that points differential. And to start things off with those eliminations and breaking into the top 5, maintaining that throughout the day, going into double points tomorrow, that's what we want to see. And honestly, it's kind of crazy. I was looking at this. I know we'll get to run back that last fight there for Hyper to get out that solo of AGG. And this time, hyper aggressive. They spotted him immediately and sealed the deal with 7 eliminations. But this was their 3rd win of PMSL Spring, America Spring. So I'm happy that we're getting that there finally. You were talking about it, Hot Jukes, how we're learning, we're growing, and then we're going to come back swinging in the next season. But this has got to feel good, especially after yesterday.
No, it's about time. It's about time. I mean, the fact that Hyper left the building just made me just look to the sky and say, yes, it's about time. Because let's be real, week 2, Taylor and Hyper would have not done this, right? They would have just stayed in that building, curled up, and just been like, let's get some paper points. Now they're like, nah, let's get out there. We have the position. They flipped the aggression switch. It's about time.
Well, guess who they have on their team now that they didn't have when they weren't being aggressive? They've got Capri, okay? Capri joins the roster, and Hyper turns things around, and they start looking good. Capri seriously has been a big game changer for the roster. Maybe not necessarily in picking up the most eliminations he did in that honeymoon phase when he first joined, but Hyper is just a much more confident team, it seems, to push really anybody. And I love that for them. Their 3rd win, that's huge. And again, trying to make the front page, which Team Queso's got to watch out. They dropped down a peg, right? A team that's on their double points today. They did not have a good game number 1. I know they wanted a bit more. 6th place, 2 eliminations. That's not going to be enough. Rules of War, however, will jump up a bit. They were the standout team for double points, at least according to myself. And then Influence Rage, we really need more from them if they want to maintain top 4. Tiff, I'm getting Furia vibes here, right? Remember Furia? They needed to maintain top 4. They did it on their double points. Influence Rage could be the same exact story.
Okay, here's the deal, though. If they can just get over and you need like a 54-point jump, that is, 26 points on your double points day. So, I mean, you just have two decent games. There's the potential to do that. And then that opens the door for fourth place yet again, because honestly, if Death Wolves go crazy tomorrow, we can take out Inco Gaming, who had such a stellar performance on their double points day when it was Group A. So we've already seen that occur, and nothing magnificent can come out of that unless they can just go crazy in general between today and tomorrow. So I'm really worried for Inco Gaming here.
I am too, and I have a narrative about that. Just to cover the second page, though, nobody's going to be moving up or down. And Hyper, though, does gain quite a few points. A couple more points like that, a couple more games, I should say. They break it to the top page, which is what Energy Galaxy promised, but Hyper is looking to do.
Oh my God.
And the candle is lit today, everybody. So what does that mean if you're confused? It means that we're going to see some energy today. All right, maybe it's for NA. Maybe it's for Influence Rage. It's going to flip-flop because I'm not consistent, okay? That candle represents a lot of different things, all right? I'm not consistent with who I support. But Hot Chooks, to bring up Tiff's point, I really am worried for Inco Gaming because that first game was not what they needed. 11th place, 0 eliminations. We talk about Influence Rage, Rulers of War, teams that are looking, or Death Wolves. But Inco Gaming could lose their spot. It is not guaranteed to stay there.
That's right, just like that flame, baby. That flame's gonna go whichever way the wind blows at this point. And it could just take one game to just change everything up. And yeah, Inco Gaming is not safe. I'll say Influence Rage, they need a 100-point day today. They need it, and the reason why is because Alpha 7 is gonna be on their double points day tomorrow, so they need to go crazy. And teams at the bottom, some of them are just going to be like, hey, it's over, right? Well, this is going to push everybody. You cannot depend on tomorrow to get points. I'm saying it right now. We're going to see stuff that is crazy tomorrow. So if you're Influence Rage, you got to show up.
Where you want to be today is third place because the only team tomorrow that can move the needle is going to be Death Wolves, all right? Death Wolves can move the needle and knock you down a peg. So if you're in fourth place, Death Wolves could pass you. You could drop down to fifth. Now all of a sudden you're missing out on the global stage, right? So third place is the magic place to be. That's game number 1 done. Airing out of the way and Hyper taking map number 1. Good ONA looking all right to start the day off. We'll see if they continue over the next 5. We've got Miramar coming up, map number 2, when we come back. The PMSL Pass is active today to the 30th of June. There is a message pinned at the top of chat with the code and a link. Redeem the code with the provided link to earn 20 points in the new PMSL Pass event and be that much closer to earning the Dark Arts Gentleman set and Dark Legend UMP 45. And welcome back, everyone, to the 2024 Pubg Mobile Super League America's Spring Season, day number 14. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Hot Jukes and Spider Tiff. Game number 1 is finished. Now we're about to head into Game 2 on Miramar. For Group C, our double points team didn't have the most stellar performance to start off, albeit Rosa 4 did jump up, knocking Team Queso down a little bit, but still light years away from catching up to the likes of Inko or Death Wolves or even Influence Rage, who the main storyline is on today. Hot Chicks, Influence Rage. Their boogeyman today seems to be Bold. They were going back and forth yesterday. Influence Rage was getting the best of Bold then, but now it seems like Bold is here to play.
And they have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose at this point. Bold are too far away to even have a chance at getting 4th or 3rd. So it's going to make me really keep an eye on the next Erangel match. Because match number 3, if they go after Yasnaya again, oh man. So I think Influence Rage at this point need to question their strategies. Like, even if you go to Yasnaya, go to a different part of it at least. Because if you do the same thing, you're going to put yourself at risk.
It's true. Do they switch it up? Death Wolves does that quite well. They like to either land in military or all the way up north, and specifically when it obviously comes to Erangel. Severny is their secondary landing spot. Occasionally, I think, they go over towards Gatka, maybe Hospital, but I've only seen them do that a couple of times. But I totally agree, right? When it comes to Influence Rage, switch it up, right? Do not go against Bold again because it's a 50-50 as far as I'm concerned. Well, here it is, map number 2. We're heading into Miramar. How's it going to turn out? Well, the players, they hold destiny within their fingertips. Hot Juke, Spider Tip, take it away.
Let's get it going. Match number 2, first Miramar of the day. And we're going to have a flame path a little far away from El Pozo. So Alpha 7 are going to either stretch it out here or go to a secondary location. But man, at the end of the day, things are heating up here, Tip. Influence Rage need a bounce back game right here, right now.
Yeah, if they don't bounce back right now, I'm genuinely going to be worried about them because there's 6 drops a day, right? Which is great. And it just gives you enough time to have maybe a throwaway and then really start honing it in. But you have to know that the entirety of the lobby is going to be looking at causing chaos. And I think what you were saying about tomorrow in general is you just don't know what's going to happen with the entirety of the lobby, because if you don't have anything else to lose, you can just straight int and do whatever you want. And I think we're going to see a lot of that. It's good.
Yeah, we're going to see it. Yeah, we're going to see it. We're going to see teams just like push for fun. We're going to see single players look to kind of make a name for themselves and make some crazy plays. And that just destroys like every single strategy you have in the lobby. As you're going to hear Ken Hyper, shooting at none other than Alpha 7 to start things off. So Alpha 7 doing exactly what I was talking about. They're going to be stretching it all the way to El Pozo, and they're going to be a little bit late on this rotation. And that really crushes them on Miramar because it takes them so long to loot there, and then they lose a couple players on that rotation.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for sure. We'll have to keep our eyes out on it. But Alpha 7, kicking things off pretty strong in drop number 1. They find 10 eliminations despite only getting to 5th place. Now, it's good considering they outperformed Team Liquid in drop number 1. And at the end of the day, that's just kind of the motto for today. Just outperform Team Liquid because they came into that day with 115 points lead over Alpha 7. So trying to essentially tear back at that when both of those teams have used up their double points is going to be tough. Not out of the question, but still substantially challenging unless Team Liquid just completely throws everything away.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I don't see that happening.
They have such a huge lead. It shouldn't happen, but here's the problem, right? I was talking about, Death Wolves need crazy points tomorrow. Alpha 7 need crazy points tomorrow. And I can already see Alpha 7 turning up the heat here. I mean, they already did in match number 1. So I'm expecting them to fully let out every strategy under their belt to ensure, them getting first place and becoming the champions here of the EMSL Americas. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So the teams, especially Influence Rage, Death Wolf, Inko, you gotta perform today, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Those are the 3 teams that I'm most definitely keeping my eyes on. And honestly, we've got some interesting moments here. Titan Gaming going to lose out on Doran. Now, granted, this is also their double points day. It came in 13th place, and honestly, if you have a strong performance here, maybe you bounce over where NRG is. We'll just have to wait and see what you can make do. But now a trio left in the lobby, and here's SLR on the move. They're going to be on the outer skirts, just on the inside of that play zone. A lot of those teams from the northwestern side of Miramar are going to rotate straight into this area. So I like that we're kind of taking some of these angles, but I don't feel comfortable in any way, shape, or form, and I don't really know what's going on here with White Elegy.
Oh, yeah, let's see. What are you doing, White Elegy? On the run, just trying to make something happen. That's what it looks like here. So, SLR, bottom of the leaderboards. This is what I'm talking about. We're going to see some kind of inconsequential fights that are going to make things just that much more difficult. This is over here near San Martin, All Glory Gaming, looking to have fun at this point. And that's the hard part about this, is that, we already had 2 groups go past their double points days. So those teams that have already passed and know that, hey, there's no chance of us making it up, we can just do whatever we want.
That is just the unpredictability of lobbies that you really can't count on, and I think that's why it's tough. I think you have to come into tomorrow in 3rd place. You really do. You're not going to be safe 100% considering just how variable all of our performances have been from that 3rd to I'll even say it, 6th place. Furia. They're 20 points back from 4th place. So that was at the start of the day and kind of roaming around that. So even they could make a play for it. So not out of it just yet.
Not out of it just yet. Oh boy, let's see what happens here as Team Liquid are on the move. And they are moving quickly. 897 points. First team to break 900. It has to happen today, right, Tiff?
Oh, easy. It just happens this game. Actually, I don't want to say that because things could go very sour quickly. At the point in time, Team Liquid is dead center of that play zone, but a lot of teams still going to be trying to vie and get in there. But honestly, I'd be really curious to hear from teams like NHyper, especially after that map win. I think we got an interview with Baton, which is good because we need to hear an update considering how they did in Game 6 yesterday, and then they jump in to win drop 1 on Erangel.
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
Here with us. Congratulations, bro. Great match. 17 points, I believe it was. So very nice. A nice contrast from last night. Last night, you were obviously bummed out after that match, but we're starting good today, huh?
Yeah, we started with our win, so I feel good.
It was a tough match right there. You had Alpha 7 at the end, but you were able to flank them. Tell me a bit about that last part of the match.
Last part of the match, we saw our south side started a fight. We just dropped the smoke and go and kill all of them, and then just killed last guy.
I like you better like this when you're happy, not when you're sad like last night, all right, bro? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's go tonight.
Happy Baton is definitely our favorite ones. Oh man, what a crazy, I think, turn of events overall here. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? I mean, hey, chicken dinner, he's gonna be stoked.
I like you better like this. Perfect. You know what? Just do it again. But at the end of the day, he just comes in, he's like, we saw that our south side was fighting, we popped a smoke, we killed everyone. Perfect. Easier said than done, right? Like, I mean, that just breaks it all down in the most simplistic way, but sometimes you just have to not overthink things.
Absolutely. You can't ever overthink things. I mean, and I think that is the thing that has been just cursing in Hyper in general, is overthinking. You know, playing things too safe, too separate, crazy splits. And I've been saying this since so early on. If they just went back to the basics, they would be so much more effective. And I think we're finally starting to see them do that. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too late, you know, for them to make it to Riyadh, but it makes me excited for the fall.
Ooh, I mean, look, I also love the fall. It's a perfect time of the year. It's not too hot over here in Georgia, bro. It is like almost 100 degrees right now, so I'll take the fall.
All day long. And they're going to see right now if, you know, NRG is going to have a similar end here. I mean, they did yesterday. So I want to see, you know, the rest of the NA team start playing the way they're supposed to towards the end of this tournament. And that's going to make things even more difficult, right, for those teams that desperately need points. And so far, nothing on the side of Influence Rage, Death Wolves, so definitely the calm before the storm.
Yeah, the only team right now with any sort of eliminations is going to be NHyper with one, and I love that NRG is actually going to be rotating in from the north side, right? This is a secondary drop for them. Typically, they'll go towards that island on the most southern point of Miramar, but granted, because of the plane path, they've elected to drop up to the north and now will be rotating in, which works perfect for this play zone because you're going to waltz right in to some pretty open space with 9Z going to be the only team below you. And then when you look towards the west, which is typically the most chaotic side on the rotations in general that I've witnessed from Miramar, you can see it's already happening. And Death Wolves on the opposing side, Rataboy, we cannot let this occur.
No, we cannot. Yeah, especially against a team like Entity 7. That would be brutal. You know, a team that has a chance to make it to Riyadh, getting eliminated by a last place team here. Oof. That's going to hurt. 9Z is in that same boat. 9Z, you can just see these teams at the bottom are finally looking to make some noise. Because we've not seen this type of aggression from them all tournament long.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the show today. We were like, we want some aggression. We want the chaos. Let it just get mixy. And if this is how it's going to be, then so be it. 9Z, throw down, ruin. I want to say like ruin people's days, but I mean, I'm down to see it.
Me too. And let's just see how many days are going to get ruined here. Because Influence Rage, that's the team they need to take out. So, unfortunately, not able to get any shots on them at all. But Death Wolves, right, safe. Going to move on into this next door. They're going to find a really good spot here, my junkyard, because this entire area is completely open.
That's a pretty solid rotation in. Their biggest threat's going to be Furia looking for a massive rat before they decide to rotate in. So that is probably the most potential threat to occur for now, but trying to lay siege to this area will be quite tough. So good on them to grab that position. We'll just have to see when our later stages where the play zone starts to pull. And if this stays in play, it'll be a really solid gift from the PUBG Mobile gods for them.
Oh, it will be indeed. And let's just see who else going to get that gift here soon. Alpha 7 are all the way on the south side of La Bendita. They're already good to go. I'm looking at where Team Liquid is. Team Liquid is right in between Influence Range. So that's going to make things very, very interesting here soon. Looking at the rest of the zone, and Hyper pushing in from the blue. Oh, but look at this. This is Inco Gaming. This is the team that needs to hold on to it. And let me ask you this, right? In the past, you know, since you were here yesterday and you're here now, what do you think about Inco, right? Do you think Inco has a chance to put points on the board and be safe here in third? Like, do you see them playing aggressive or passive?
Look, they've had a really solid performance in general for this week, right? They're coming into week 3, 201 points. It's their top performance that we've witnessed throughout all of our weeks. Other than that, they've been sitting around that top 5, 6 threshold. That double points day that we witnessed from them was absolutely crazy, as we just witnessed SLR fall there. salute in chat for them, because Hyper's just on another level at some point in time here. Thanks God for the week 3. But now I'm yapping. Going back to my original point, great week for them. Yes, I think they have what it takes, because we haven't seen this, and it just took them a few weeks to really step up. But Influence Rage, it's Be Bold again.
No way, not again. So Be Bold, hunting them down, gets the 1v2. This is the worst case scenario. And now they know who it is. They realize it's Be Bold. So I think Be Bold are going to just do extra work to finish this team off. Is it going to be Lawrence to get the 1v4, though?
You cannot let this occur. Like, you cannot let this happen. Change the story. But Milovan goes for the chow. And finally, Diego enacts some revenge here. We got to find Fran, though. And we do it. Come on, Diego. Make it work. Because look who's in the neighboring compound. It's Team Liquid, who's going to straight on send over here. They're both going to pay for this.
Influence Rage is the team that pays for this, and that is brutal. And I'll tell you what, Team Liquid and Influence Rage have a storied history. You know, these squads have a lot of beef between each other, and it's some Brazilian on Brazilian action. Team Liquid knew who this was, and they wanted to just stick it to Influence Rage there. That's going to hurt.
You know, once again, Death Wolves out here just like, thank you. I appreciate you. You're doing great. They're just like, at the end of these games, they have got to walk over to Be Bold and just thank them when they wrap it up and hit 4th place today.
Might as well. You might as well, because this is getting intense here, especially since this has happened twice in a row.
Yeah, it's
twice in a row, and I'm sure we're going to see it happen in the second game. So what I said earlier, right, when it comes to Influence Rage adjusting their strategies, they're going to have to. They're going to have to if they want to have any chance of going to Riyadh.
Yeah, and to be so close but miss out, because as of right now, you've got Influence Rage that's locked into that ESWC survival stage a lot, and that even already makes your journey that much more difficult. When they had a chance to play for 3rd in NRG Galaxy, yes, they showed up yesterday on drop number 1 for Erangel, and we're waiting for them to have some brilliant moments here today, and just starting to kind of get things moving, picking up 1 elimination on their way in, but it's tough, right? Once this zone starts to center up and everyone kind of making their way in, NRG trying to come in from the northern side, Fury will be that next threat to them.
Okay, but they make it. They find a very clear path into this next zone, and they're going to push up further and further and further in. Let's see where the next zone pops, though. Are we going to get a center up? Maybe another hard shift? Let's see. Next few seconds on the clock. Alpha 7 down south. And yeah, big center zone here. What I'm looking at is Death Wolves. Death Wolves have a big couple of fights ahead of them here. And with Influence Rage out, this is their time to shine.
Do we hang out and really try to isolate against Furia before rotating in? Because I think that might be smart. Granted, it's going to be open. We do have some vehicles to work with. But I would rather start picking up eliminations. But where they lie at this point, being 8 points away from Influence Rage, it's going to be interesting. But do you play conservative? Do you worry about your position and let those eliminations come to you?
At this point, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I think if you're Death Wolves, you cannot alter your strategy. I think you have to get active at this point because you need big points. You cannot depend on tomorrow. Even though tomorrow is your double points day, there are so many teams that need those points. So if you're Death Wolves, get hungry, get active right here, right now.
You heard it. Jukes wants you to get active, and right now, if you're looking at 9Z, it wouldn't be a bad team to get active against. You can see Ego out here just scouting, looking for information, maybe to see what that threat is going to look like. But Furia is not going to be in that next play zone. They still have to look for space. And a lot of people are just keeping their eyes on 9Z because they are inside that play zone. And if 2 teams decide to rotate straight into them, but the way they've separated themselves out, it's going to be a tough push.
It's going to be a push indeed, and I'm looking over here at Alpha 7. They have this spot pretty locked down, but you know what? They got Rolls of War on their back, and Rolls of War, at the end of the day, are just trying to make something happen. Here comes Fate, though. NRG Galaxy against All Glory Gaming, and it looks like they're definitely going to get the better of them here.
Look, we already heard about the changes yesterday from Fate himself. Wants to roam free. and just kind of piecing apart AGG here quite nice already on 3 eliminations. But Hyper, who has been one of the most unpredictable squads of week number 3, decides to get straight into the mix here. Baton in the smoke, taking it straight to J7.
NA violence. J7 finally catching up to the smoke. Gets that headshot against Baton. So these are two teams that have played against each other so long now. The rest of Hyper looking to be a little bit farther away from this, but NRG doing solid. 4 eliminations so far on the push, but they have 55 seconds on the clock. They need to get this site cleared out sooner than later.
Yeah, this is tough, right? It's that northwestern side of the play zone, and whoever can leave here unscathed. Stars had already left to scout out a play area for them after this rotation, but when you lose out on one, it's going to be tough. Here we go, straight to AGG. Bait from the off angle, holding the cross, doesn't want to let Guapo get over there, and Padrino down and out, and just like that, All Glory Gaming eliminated. Royals of War has fallen elsewhere also.
That's a big loss right there. Royals of War getting taken out here is gonna hurt. Influence Rage gone. That is brutal. What is going to happen here with Death Wolves? Death Wolves 1 elimination, and with this game here, the door's open for them to get past. They can pass up Influence Rage.
It is very likely, considering where they have fallen here. Wherever that next zone, oh my god, they can just waltz right into it. And honestly, one member of Death Wolves has already secured an elimination against 9Z. They were not able to grab that res, so they're still a trio, and that is the biggest threat to Death Wolves, but they're going to have the player advantage.
They're going to have that advantage. Indeed, NRG on the rotation, barely able to make it in, but they're going to make it safely here. No sacrifices needed to be had. They are getting shot from the back. Never mind. FS catches Malaz, and that is brutal. Oh, but he does get the better end on to Stars. Oh, but J7 gets shut down by Concrete. So yeah, NRG gonna get taken out here little by little. Tough rotation. I'd rather see them just push up little by little than try to make these crazy bold rotates.
It's tough because Stars had already rotated in ahead of everyone and left Hyper very separated and was just able to pick apart NRG Galaxy. Now, granted, we do have Spec still alive, 6 eliminations for the squad, and it's just tough. You're just going to play your life, see what you can do, no, you're not going to play your life because there's a rogue Rata boy from a distance just doing what he needs to do to get into 4th place.
That is tough. But you know who's still alive? Alpha 7 on the south side, and they're looking really, really good. Team Liquid are going to have to make a push, though, against Team Kessel, most likely very, very soon. But I think they're happy to just share this spot. But meanwhile, it's just absolute chaos on this side of the map. This corner is stacked with squads.
Yeah, I don't really want to be on that side of zone. And
nope.
To see who's looking to maybe kind of push over there, you can see Death Wolves, right? They've separated out completely on that northern side instead of descending upon the remnants of 9Z. We're like, no, we want to get involved. We want to get active, like you said, Hot Jukes.
Now, let's see what happens as FS and Stars looking to put some pressure. 9Z catching off Obscure. This is going to make things pretty difficult. Yeah, especially if Hyper are going to push this. That's that rear sight line completely taken away. So their eye in the sky is gone.
We kind of thought about that, right? It's like maybe you should have just taken the isolated engagement against 9Z as opposed to maybe looking for a third party, because that's exactly what 9Z wants you to do, and they're going to gatekeep. This is very open on this side, like you were mentioning. Not sure if Rataboy was able to get, yes, he does get the res off, and we're going to start that healing process, but you don't want to let that happen. You want to maintain your resources for the end game and just lie and wait. Still 2 eliminations, though. Granted,
not bad.
Not double points until tomorrow, though.
They need to group up, though. I think Death Wolves need to play it old school here. Just get together and just soak up some eliminations. Now is the time. And it looks like they're going to go for it. Rata Boy on the rotate. He should make it free and clear. Oh, couple shots down his way. Not a big worry, though. He's actually going to take the initiative and push on to FS. FS is down to 1 HP. Jump out. Got him. Beautifully done there from Death Wolves.
That's how you get active. Stars, though, able to knock Obscure. Trying to get wild here, but it doesn't matter. And Hyper does fall. 7 eliminations, a pretty stellar performance here in drop number 2, considering they won drop 1, but Deathwolves up to 4, losing out on Obscure, will play it out as a trio. And I'm just looking kind of what is left for our teams. Down to the final 10. Team Liquid still up all 4, along with Team Queso, Entity 7, and Alpha 7.
Alpha 7 been, man, these guys are getting a lot more eliminations into the early game tip. 5 already. This is very similar to their last game here. So Team Liquid need to stay alive. They need to cross that 900 mark. This game indeed. There's still 10 teams remaining, and with a zone like this, we can take it all the way here. This is going to probably go to Circle 9.
I want to see it. I love that they're actually getting eliminations and being pretty consistent, because before this I was like, what is Alpha 7 doing this week? It's not bad by any means. It's just uncharacteristic. Okay. Yeah, get crazy. I'm going to say that's not the way you wanted to land, but it was cool to see.
It was cool to see indeed, and that's what we're seeing. Deathwolves! Very cool! But not cool enough, unfortunately, as they get deleted.
Would have been cooler if you survived that rotation, but fair.
If you did. Yeah, that is for sure. Meanwhile, you got Fudia staying cool right there, and Titan Gaming very close to them. But at the end of the day, the big storyline, Inco, right? Inco are still up with 2 players, and they need to get some points here. And it looks like they're going to be ending up fighting Carrillo here very soon.
Oh, that's not who you want to fight very soon.
Nope.
Come on. Come on now. We don't want to run straight into them, but we'll have to see how that goes. Alpha 7 is going to be separated out on that southern side. And you're right. All right. Team Liquid Mythic is going to be the first one to fall down. And Ayala trying to hold angle around the vehicle. Got peppered from Revo. Trying to maintain that standout potential MVP.
This is huge. This is so huge. Alpha 7 looking to just shut down Team Liquid in match number 2. Trying to catch them so they can win this championship, and they do. Oh, but here come the grenades ringing out from Team Castle. Those look really good.
Ooh.
Mafioso gets knocked. Oh, brutal. Alpha 7 did their job, though, right? They were able to shut down Team Castle, and they put some more points on the board. But unfortunately, that chicken dinner now is looking pretty out of sight.
We're still up with 2 of them. Well, actually 1 now. 1 just got knocked, Revo. Yeah, that's tough. Team Queso just capitalizing on that full overextension from Alpha 7. And to be fair, I understand that you want to take out Team Liquid, but of course you are going to get punished from this, and it just makes sense for Team Queso to do so, and Alpha 7 will fall with 9 eliminations. Now, granted, 10 eliminations in the first drop, 9 to back it up. It's still pretty stellar.
Yeah, pretty stellar indeed. And we're going to see right now as Choco is going to get a nice shot onto Entity 7. The next zone, let's see if it goes to Inco. Inco definitely need it here because they need to put some more points on the board to extend their lead. And that's really it. This is the main team. Inco's the main squad right now that we're looking at to hold down that 3rd place position. Everybody else, pretty inconsequential. Unless Team Castle has, again, a monster day here.
Now, we say that, but then Furia could move up into that 4th place slot, right? Now, they're farther back, so it's not going to be as easy for them, and there's still a duo. Okay, now a solo as Adrian falls there. So if 9Z just really wants to get crazy and take out different players, that's fine, and even Titan Gaming's going to hit the full. So Inco here, 7 on your screen, 2 eliminations straight onto this, outnumbered by Team Queso. A 2v4, you're gonna have to let the frags do some work here.
Yeah, Team Queso need to get busy here, because if they want to even stand a chance of being in this conversation for 4th or 3rd place, they need to go crazy. 3 eliminations, not enough. You need double-digit eliminations every single game today, and it's definitely going to help for you to take out Inco right here, right now. And it should be pretty easy. Silence, 1 well-placed nade should shut these guys down, and it does. But a nice return nade, but it doesn't matter, as Inco Gaming get eliminated with only 2 points on the board. So Team Castle with 5, not a bad start, but it's still not enough. They got to be pushing everybody.
They really do. And I mean, looking, they're sitting at 531 points. The next gap for them would be Furia, and they have to be, it's 66 points ahead of them. They're going to be able to get that reset onto silence there, thanks to some smokes to cover that line of sight. And honestly, the angle here of this hill, and you can just drop on down. But for Furia, 1 player left standing, setting their sights straight on at Titan Gaming's Inactive, who meets it with the frag. And they'll fall fall with just one elimination.
One elimination. That's going to be rough there. So Titan Gaming now going to be pushing into zone, but at this point, it really is Team Gesso's time to shine. They need every single elimination left in the lobby. That's one of them.
Titan Gaming has fallen down to the final three. Team Queso, 9Z, and Be Bold, the duo. Team Queso could have a fire potential here. You were making sure every elimination left in the lobby. That would be the total of 5 if they can get it.
They need it. They really do need it. I cannot stress enough. They are so far behind that just regular chicken dinners are not enough at this point. They need some big making up to do. You don't even want the blue zone to take any of these. So Team Gesso, I understand that they're trying to optimize position because they do need to win the game, but there needs to be a little blend of urgency, right? You're going to have to take some risks because that's what you have to do at this point. You have no choice.
It's true, and it's double points. So, like you said, if you can throw down a 20-point normal game, that turns into 40. That's how you start covering the distance and make a huge change. And it starts with fully sending the trio, if possible, or even the duo of Be Bold, who's in the dead center, and Connor. If they're going to start opening that fight against Be Bold, Team Queso, this is your chance.
Yes, you need to get active, Team Gesso. You cannot just sit and wait for this game to come to you. You need every elimination in the lobby at this point. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to put up a good day, but it ain't going to be enough to go to Riyadh.
Do you want to go to Riyadh? Do you want to go compete for $3 million? This is how you get there.
Oh, and this is how you don't get there.
True.
When Connor and Simple go out to the blue zone, these points are critical, and they are losing them. And that's what I'm talking about. I said, yeah, Team Queso most likely going to win this game. But, I mean, if I'm going to try to say silver lining, yeah, it's good to see that progress, right? Like, it's good to see a start. But they have to let this be the only time they win this game without any urgency.
I mean, they've had 6 winner chicken dinners so far. Would love to bring it to 7 here. But for now, they do move up, and they're already kind of separating out. You can see Patroke on the other side there towards that western, is looking for angles. He's cooking the grenades, looking for Chuko or some players from Be Bold. But, I mean, there's 3 players left in the lobby. You have 4. We could just death ball each squad, but you got Fran with the DBS, and if you're gonna start to take the angles, oh no, here we go.
Here we go. Let's see what's gonna happen. Yeah, the nades are starting to ring out. This is stage 9 though. This zone's gonna go down to nothing. Team Gesso are playing a little bit too separate for my liking. I think at this point you gotta just push together as a unit, and just take out each player one at a time here. The chicken dinner should be automatic at this point. Let's see how they decide to play this.
Cannot throw anything. I think the grouping up is going to be quite nice. We typically, when we see teams play like this, it's very akin to what Team Liquid does. They'll separate and send a duo onto each team, right? Now, granted, this is a different story. You have this building, you have the space, you know where some of these players are. You're already sending those nades over towards Fran. You can't let Brunson there get an angle from the high ground. And Chuko, it might go down to blue zone here. Falls incredibly low, and you don't want to see them throw him. It's Fran. Fran picks it up, and that's another elimination that's going to be denied to you. And so now a 4v2. Come on, take it, Team Queso.
Let's see if they can. They're going to lose another elimination. So Team Queso going to get the chicken dinner here with only one of those. And you can just see, look at their faces, right? They're happy, right? They're happy they won the game. They knew they were going to win it. But at the same time, they know there is a lot of work ahead of them.
That's tough, right? Because you see one of the players go down to the blue zone from Be Bold, so you're getting denied elimination. So yes, you get the winner chicken dinner. You get it with 8 eliminations, but it could have been more.
Could have been more. Taylor, what do you think about that one?
It kind of conflicted. Team Queso, I think they do quite well. 8 eliminations, winner, chicken dinner. That kind of consistency, let's say the next 4 maps, which would be very difficult to do, mind you, right? We haven't seen a team very rarely win back-to-back, let alone win 3-4 in a row, right? That just simply hasn't happened. But I do think that's a great start for Team Queso. We're only on game number 2. Game number 1, you chalk it up, you just let it go, short-term memory loss, right? And then you kind of come in fresh, which I think Team Queso did. Now, where my concern does turn to, though, Hot Jukes, is directly to this Be Bold Influence Rage saga that's developing. It started yesterday. Influence Rage was getting the best of Be Bold, but today, on the most important day for Influence Rage, that could literally make or break them, it's all Be Bold.
Well, this is what happens, right? This is what happens. Yeah, Influence Rage was getting the better of B-Bold on their double points day, right? So maybe B-Bold said, hey, since you did that, it's time we get some revenge, and it's working. 2 games in a row, Influence Rage, and pretty much put up donuts. Yeah, they got a couple points here and there, but they know that's not enough, right, to make it to the Esports World Cup coming around the corner.
It's not enough. And if I'm Influence Rage, I am starting to get worried. But I do question Tiff, or, is people in their head, right? Because it's like, it's hard to dig yourself up out of that rut and also not to get paranoid.
Yeah, it does start to mentally affect you, and knowing that you're on land, you're nearby them as well, things are probably going to get really heated. And I love that Hotchix goes, it's not paranoid, it's rage, right? I'm living up to Influence Rage at this point, because to keep throwing down 0-point games on the most important day of the week, in the final week, look, it is just not the time to let that happen. So what do you do? How do you counteract that? How do you change the narrative from what's been occurring? I mean, you just stick it to Be Bold, because especially going down to Be Bold and then watching them go to second place here on Miramar, I've got to feel some type of way.
You have to, and it hurts. That's going to be, I think, a narrative that's going to continue throughout the entire. I mean, we're going back to Arigo where they first challenged them, right? Team Queso, though, 36 points. Hotchix, again, like, you can be critical. Should they have been more aggressive to clean up the rest of the eliminations in the final 3? I think so, right? But also, 36 points, you've got to be happy with that when everybody else is only getting 10 or 11. And also, it's not just everybody else, is it, right? The biggest ones you've got to watch out for is Inco Gaming and Death Wolves. Inco only gets 4. So for Team Queso to get 36, that's a big leap ahead of Inco and potentially Death Wolves, right? At least consistency-wise.
Yeah, I mean, big game for them. Well, no doubt, right? You got to give them their flowers for sure. At the end of the day, though, we need to be realistic, right? They want 3rd place. They don't want 4th. They want 3rd. They want that guaranteed spot to the group stage. So I've been in this game a long time. I've seen too many tournaments where teams get cut down by just 1 point. They don't make their dreams come true by just 1 point. So when I see Team Queso, yeah, that was an automatic win. When they could have got more, that's when I start getting critical here. Because, yeah, look, they make that jump, but that's still a big gap they need to cross.
That is a big. Well, so what is it? 557 now to 618. That's at least the absolute bare minimum to catch up to Influence Rage. And then obviously Inco Gaming up to 674. A tremendous jump. I mean, so we're talking about 120, right? So it's like now you do start to get worried when you put it into perspective, right? You do look at the standings. So I do understand your criticisms, Hotchix. Rose of War, though, again, double points as well for them. It's looking a bit out of reach, Tiff. Like, I don't know if they're going to be able to have or make that happen. Furia continues to drop. They've got to feel deflated. But for Death Wolves, honestly, keeping it pretty consistent. I mean, again, for Death Wolves, I think this is a pretty big day. Even though they're not getting the most elims or placing points, I think Death Wolves is still going to be all right going into their double points tomorrow.
Yes and no, because they're having a perfect case scenario happen for them. Inco Gaming has a 4-point game. Influence Rage, a 2-point game. Death Wolves have a 4-point game. This was the chance, right? They are having these situations that are being given to them because Be Bold is essentially having this war with Influence Rage, which is opening the door for you to make a massive play for 3rd place, especially with Inco Gaming having that. So now at the end of the day, we're looking at Team Queso, who just comes off the back of a 36-point game that is the farthest away from 4th and 3rd place, that has the biggest potential because they're actually putting points on the board.
That's a fact, right? Another big game from them. They catch up to Furia and to Death Wolves. You don't know how that can snowball, especially on your double points day. Titan Gaming, though, not too bad, right? 4th place, 5 eliminations. It doesn't move the needle, but gets them a little bit closer to NRG Galaxy in terms of the race for North America. Still want to see N-Hyper, though, continue to move up. Are you happy, Hotchix, with N-Hyper's at least early game, right? I mean, 7 eliminations. They finished in 11th place, but they're still showing that prowess of, want to get in your face and improve and be aggressive.
Let's go, baby. I mean, I love to see them not giving it up. I love to see the teams at the bottom, just putting in work, being more aggressive in general, because, unfortunately it is, too late for them to, qualify. But this is that time that you just say, hey, I'm here for a reason. Come fall, I'm going to come bring it. And Hyper and NA in general, right? We're seeing them do it.
By the way, update, Titan Gaming, unofficially, Red Ox should have just hit his 100th elimination for the America Spring season. He was sitting at 99. I don't think he got any, no, he didn't get any elims in game 1. He gets 1 in game number 2. So shout out to Red Ox, right? Hitting that big 100, knocking Deathwolves Guizhou all the way down, at least 1 peg, right down to, like, I believe 6th place. So he joins in the top 5 for Red Ox. Well done from Titan Gaming. Well, chat, that's 2 games down. Erangel and Miramar. We hop back into Erangel for map number 3, the halfway point. And a lot of work still needing to be done for the race up to top 4. I don't know at this point if Influence Rage has it today. Be Bold seems to have their number, and they are in their head. Let us know, chat, what are you thinking about in terms of the top 4 and who needs to step it up? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, map 3, Erangel coming your way.
Hello everyone, the all-new 2024 PUBG Mobile Super League event PMSL Pass will be available from May 31st to June 30th. The PMSL Pass has 20 levels and only takes 500 UC to unlock. Get a Dark Arts Gentleman set immediately after purchase. After unlocking the PMSL Pass, you can view the missions and complete them to get points. Raise your pass level to claim corresponding rewards. Plenty of rewards await you, including the Dark Arts Gentleman set, Dark Arts Gentleman glasses, Dark Legend Smoke Grenade, Dark Legend Avatar Frame, and the ultimate reward, Dark Legend UMP 45. To quickly raise your pass level, you can 1. Redeem points from Points Voucher redemption codes. You can start by using the redemption code 24PMSL-PASS now. 2. Use UC purchase levels directly. After reaching the max level, every additional level reached will grant 1 PMSL crate. Additionally, you can gift the PMSL Pass to friends who meet the conditions. Send your friends a small gift and complete to see who unlocks the ultimate reward first. That's all for this introduction to the 2024 PUBG Mobile Super League event. Unlock the PMSL Pass, put on the Dark Arts Gentleman set with friends, and collect amazing rewards.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2024 PUBG Mobile Super League America Spring Season, day number 14. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Hot Chooks and Spider Tiff, and game number 3 about to be underway. We're heading back into Erringale. Hot Chooks, your worries, right, about Be Bold versus Influence Rage, right? That kind of story's been going down, and it's been pretty nice. Miramar, which is now a worry for game number 5, but game 3, Influence Rage already has their own worries at this point.
They do. They have a big worry now. I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen is a team that's got nothing to lose hunting you down. And it hurts so bad because even if they win the fight, what are the chances they're going to leave with all 4 players on?
Yes.
Yes. Be Bold are going to be looking to thirst the second they get a knock. And that's just going to crush their overall chances of getting a crazy game to rocket launch them into 3rd place. So yeah, Influence Rage, it's change up time, baby. Right? If you've been throwing fastballs all day, it's time to throw some sliders, something else.
Some curveballs even, man. You know, I don't know. If you've been throwing at 100 miles per hour, start throwing at 50. Trust me, that does work, actually. There's some good compilations on the tube. But no, hey, Tiff, this is big. And I continue to harp on Influence Rage because they're the team that's the closest to breaking into top 4. But now Team Queso shows life. And then that brings up the question, can they be consistent enough to break in to the top 4? Because Team Queso is an exciting roster. They've shown wonderful consistency throughout, or at least, you know, some decent consistency throughout the 14 days. But at this point, with 2 days left, Tiff, it's not really about consistency, is it? It's more so about, like, you just need a huge flash-in-the-pan day, kind of like what Inco did, or like Team Liquid did yesterday, right? All the other days, they don't matter. Chalk that up. Now it's time to go big or go home.
Yeah, it's very much like when we were talking in week 1. It was a marathon, right? We have 15 total days of gameplay, and now you're into the final 2 days, and we've already expended 2 drops on match day number 14. So we are now into that sprint. The finish line is in the distance, and Team Queso is 61 points away from Influence Rage, who is dealing with their arch nemesis, Be Bold, at the point in time.
Well, chat, now it's time to sprint into the PMSL Pass. It's active today to the 30th of June. There's a message pinned at the top of chat with the code and a link. Redeem the code, provide a link to earn 20 points in the new PMSL Pass events, and be that much closer to earning the Dark Arts Gentleman set, Dark Legend, UMP 45. Well, chat, I asked you to get the conversation going. Who do you expect to go big today? You've got that conversation going. Now continue it as we head into game number 3. Hot Juke, Spider Tiff, take it away.
Continue it, because there's a lot to talk about. You said what was it? 61 points?
Yeah.
All right.
61.
Wow. So 61 against Influence Rage, which they're in 4th place. Let's be real. The survival stage sucks. I mean, it's going to be hard. You're going to get to go Riyadh, which is going to be amazing, but to go and get through past the survival stage is going to be difficult. So your goal here should be 3rd, right? And Team Kessel against Inco have 117-point difference, right? So that's still makeable. With double points at play, Team Kessel can do that, right? So that is why I would like to see them play it a little bit more hardcore. They need to take more risks here because they need big points. Because, yeah, 61-point difference from Influence Rage is great and all. But it's their double points day, too.
You're not wrong, and that's going to make things so tough. And I don't think they have the capability to jump into 3rd. And please prove me wrong if that's the case. It would take a stellar miracle to make that occur there for Team Queso. But the survival stage, that slot is very much open. And honestly, do what it has to take. If the way the cards have been falling for Inco Gaming, Influence Rage, and even Death Wolves, then that makes sense. And Furia is just 18 points back from 4th place, so they still have a fighting chance to make that happen. It's not over with. Still, I just want to see something good come from it, but it just hasn't really occurred in the first 2 drops of the day. Still 4 more to go, including this map on Erringale. But man, I'm just honestly grateful to be here casting over this because it's chaotic.
Oh, it is so chaotic. There's just so much action here. It's jam-packed. This is the day we've been waiting for. These are the championship rounds, Tiff, right? And we're right here getting to witness it. Couldn't be more excited. But man, so much is at stake, and so many different teams can get that last slot. So I want to see more action. I want to see more teams pull a Be Bold at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would make things interesting.
It really would. It's so wild because Dave and I were like, I know I said this earlier, I was like, we were waiting for Be Bold to get aggressive, get into the fray, and just do what they can. So for them to come out swinging here in day number 14 has me all kinds of confused. Now, granted, we did get to look at that zone. It is going hard over towards the west. And with Alpha 7 holding the north, a lot of teams have already started rotating in. So I'd imagine that we're going to see the chaos start to break in shortly, especially people looking for control on that southern bridge like we saw Team Queso kind of already take. Knowing that Team Liquid lands military base and so had Death Wolves spin out on that eastern side, Team Liquid's going to have to hit that rotation straight into Team Queso, and if we get an early fight between those two teams, it's going to be tough considering we need a miracle performance of Team Queso today.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that the miracle could happen because they already had a great game. So I'm going to say the same thing I said last time. You know, the door isn't open for Team Queso, and they don't even have their hands on the knob, right? But the door's there.
Mm-hmm.
The door's there now. You know, it is totally possible for them to make that big run. And at the end of the day, they need that last game to be their low for the rest of the day here if they want to make that run. So let's see. Let's see if they're able to even surpass up Inco in double points after today.
I would love to see that. That's kind of a good way, a good threshold to break. And if you come into today and you do achieve something like that, think of what your last day is going to look like because you're already riding off that momentum. You're like, Riyadh is in our cusp. We know it's capable. We saw what we did yesterday, and we just really have to focus on that. But for now, SLR, AGG just across from them, taking some pop shots here. Now, you got to be careful, and SLR doesn't need to overextend or be too aggressive in this scenario because they still do have teams in the nearby vicinity. Not 9Z, though. 9Z is vibed in dead center of zone, looking for some action.
Oh, yes, they are. And 9Z getting aggressive with it, I will say. I mean, we've seen them in a lot of really big fights early on. They're very, very close to Rolls of War here. So that's going to make things a little bit interesting. And Rolls of War, yeah, they would need to go nuts. They're 93 points behind fourth place. So at this point, with how they played the first couple of matches, it's not looking too healthy. Especially considering that, I mean, Influence Rage, Team Queso, a good couple games. We're going to see them even press that lead even further. So we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're Rolls of War, I want to just see aggressiveness. Like, just start pushing teams like crazy. You're going to have to start rolling the dice at this point.
Yeah, you really have to, and hopefully you get some good numbers or however that works. I don't know what kind of rolling the dice of what I want to see on there. Maybe some Snake Eyes. That'd be kind of crazy. But for them being 93 points back from fourth place, we wanted to see something that we saw from Team Queso, but Team Queso instead finds Royals of War and doesn't deny them unless Royals of War can answer back. But we're just chucking frags straight on to Tonka, sends them down. What's Aragon going to be able to do? Because he rolls up in the vehicle trying to answer back.
Let's see what happens here because, yeah, Big Tex is looking to try to get in the mix, but he gets taken down as well. So Team Queso are doing exactly what they need to. They are getting so hungry. Unfortunately, maybe a little too hungry. They lose a player on this backside to Colgoat. They need to wrap things up here quickly because third parties could be coming any second now.
Any second.
There it is.
It's in Hyper. They have been on one here today. Aragon done and dusted. And Team Queso, if I have not been able to get my reset, and we needed perfection, we know how I said it earlier, in Hyper, unpredictable.
Ooh, and Team Queso are out of there. I was saying run. They need to run and run away quickly. And unfortunately, two players. So I like the aggressiveness. I will give it up to them. But oh boy, this is going to hurt bad. Because again, they need double-digit elimination chicken dinners every game. And right now, it's already looking abysmal. Can they bounce back with some more limbs, though, against 9Z? We're about to find out.
Well, 9Z kind of grouping up. Team Queso rolled up in their turf. Simple. Looking for some angles here, but you can already see we've got a DBS out for our player, but Simple goes in, takes them out, hits the full, and now down to a solo for Team Queso.
Oh boy, down to a solo, and That is rough. So, I mean, I always got to give props when they're due. And I'd rather see that. Yeah, a lot of people would be like, hey, Team Kessler, you should play it passive, this and other stuff.
No, I don't.
They need third. They need third. And that's the way they need to do it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them this game, but they tried it. And that I will respect all day long. See, Liquid looking to get in the mix, though, here. Chief pops some shots with 90, and they are out of here.
See, what's really nice is they left their island. They were already able to rotate up into the center of the play zone and kind of mirrored Team Queso in that rotation. So it makes very sense that they are here and now in getting into the mix with these squads, considering this is the way Team Queso rotated throughout. But Team Liquid still very healthy, trying to break that 900 point. I know I said it was going to happen last game. Well, it didn't. They're at 898, just 2 points away. So does it happen this game, Hot Jukes?
Let's see. It should be pretty easy to do. They're looking to get a little extra spice here at the start, but so is Alpha 7. They know what is at risk here, and they are going against the right team, the team on the bottom, and they got some good, solid points there. So let's see just how many more they're going to get.
Ooh, okay. Very low. And that picture-in-picture, so you get to keep an eye on that zone there towards the right. Inco Gaming, your third-place team, rotating in towards the northeastern. Be Bold just ahead of them, which immediately when I think of Be Bold, I'm like, okay, well, where's Influence Rage in that picture? Are they just going to start hunting straight for them? Because look at that. They're rotating in. They could mirror them. They could.
They absolutely could. Let's see. Yeah, they're going to hunt it down. They need every elimination they can get. So they are hunting down to Blib. And, they're like, we got a runner, boys. We got a runner. And they are chasing him down. Oh, but he may have gotten away for now. Oh, yeah, this is trouble. They are setting up a trap here.
Job's not done. And back to this building we go. But, okay, look, I love chasing. I love just going across. We're outside the play zone. It's totally fine. We've got time in the world. And then you'll have to rotate in eventually. But how far is too far to hit that chase?
Well, that's always the question. How far is too far indeed? So let's just see how far it is as Doran is now healing up. Anything is possible here. All Glory Gaming and Titan Gaming going at it. Pretty inconsequential fights here between these two teams, but still, right? Titan Gaming looking to show everybody that they are ready for the fall split coming up around the corner.
Especially when you've got double points today, try to make the most of it. Coming in 13th place, they are 19 points behind NRG. Could look to unseat them, but Doran, not when you've got multiple players kind of waltzing, ready at the stairs. A limb, though, in inactive, still up here for Titan Gaming.
They are still up there. Keep an eye. Lamb goes down. That's going to be tough there. So inactive. Just push, dude. Just push. Go turn around. Why not at this point? But hey, just looking to survive. Maybe get some practice. Oh, Influence Rage in trouble against Furia. This is a big fight.
This started going down when we were on that engagement with Titan Gaming, and Furia had opened it up, grabbed some bulls on Diego, and now Milovan is just going to be caught out. Influence Rage falls again, 0 eliminations, but this time it wasn't Be Bold, it was Furia, so it doesn't matter who it is at this point. Influence Rage is just not having a good day.
That is no good. Influence Rage just getting beat up time and time again. They go out here. That's 3 games in a row on their double points day where they pull up basically goose eggs. So it opens the door for a lot of squads. The Death Wolves are looking to put up some big points. This could have been a big opportunity for Team Castle, but they're down to 1 player. So that's going to be more difficult. And it's up to Inco as well to just keep on pushing that lead that they have in 3rd place.
For Alpha 7, just looking for any kind of frags that they can grab. AGG still very much outside in the blue. We'll see once Alpha 7 decides to call off the chase with Entity 7, and they're literally split on the map, chasing each member left of Entity 7, which is kind of wild to me, but you know what? We're here for the chaos.
Hey, we like it. We like the chaos here. Next zone, look at this. All right. We got a chopstick circle, and Team Liquid are going to be the team to take up chopsticks. Alpha 7 pushing in from the outside. You can see them right here, full squad, but they live to play on the edge, and they're going to have to. They're going to have to play on the edge and do it well. They are closing that gap with Team Liquid, but Team Liquid in their position right here are looking very, very good. So let's see who's going to end up on top.
95 points separate them currently, and when the day started, it was 115. So we are shaving points off, and neither of these teams are going to have double points available to them. Just mere drops, carnage, and doing what you can. And if it's chasing members from Entity 7, sure, do what you got to do. Already on 2 eliminations, want to bring it to double digits if they can. And like you said, the chopstick zone, knowing that Team Liquid's already positioning themselves to get into it for the long game. What is Alpha 7 going to do? Well, they're going to fight, and they are going to move the way in they can. And same with Hyper, being hyper aggressive today.
Yes, they are, and we love to see that. Starting off the day so strong, and Hyper got their revenge from yesterday, and we love to see that, right? They're going to hopefully try to get the last laugh here. In a good position in this next zone. They are very split, though, and I don't mind splits, but if you're going to do a split, you want to make sure you're in a position where you can cover each teammate. But, Hyper, they tend to kind of err on the side of just too separated, where if one gets knocked, there's just no hope for them. And I think that's something I want to see them tighten up with here soon. But Baton gets the explosion onto Hate, so it does work out for now.
I do love that. And Deathwolf still being up, Furia still being up, and honestly, Inko as well. Inko is going to have to use this at a time, this drop here, to just really bolster their points. And for Deathwolves, you only need 1 full team wipe to tie Influence Rage. You get 2, you unseat them, you put yourself in solidified into that 4th until we go again.
Yeah, Baton gets the flush there onto Hate. Franco's nearby, and Caprice is going to be taking up that solid position there. So they're rocking a 3-1 split. Caprice being scout and solidifying their spot. But we're seeing where this next zone's going to go to. We're going to get a center zone here?
Honestly, for Team Liquid's sake, yes. Because I want them to hit 900 for now. Titan Gaming have fallen. No eliminations, despite it being their double points day, so that'll stay at 0. For Deathwolves moving in from that south side, we've got a couple threats here in the nearby distance. It's going to be NRG Galaxy towards their west and SLR towards the north. And it doesn't quite center up. It moves more towards the west. Still pretty good for Team Liquid, but better for Furia.
It's actually going to might be a tough one for Team Liquid, considering that if that zone continues to shift away, they're going to have to run out in the open. So they're hoping to get a lot of eliminations here. That's what they need to do. Hurry up and get some shots, because everybody wants their spot. Everybody's going to be looking right at them. So they're going to probably have to defend a lot of pushes here.
Deathwolves already hitting the rotation. We knew they were going to have to contend with NRG. When would that happen? It's got to be soon. Here's Fate on the screen. Looking at all of the rotations coming in from Deathwolves. You have to be very cautious here, because all it takes is one of those members to double back and just run you over. So keeping the vehicles for cover. Fate does grab a knock. That'll open the fight here. Gets the full, even better.
There we go, and that's even better for them, but rough for Deathwolves. Losing a player like that is going to be difficult, and not to mention, they're just blind sending it. They're rotating, just trying to cover the circle. They might get shot out again here. Let's see. Stars is waiting for him. Yeah, Stars is waiting for him. The trap is set, and it is gonna work. So Deathwolves on the blind rotate, getting punished. This is them adapting strategies. It has to be. Deathwolves desperation pushing like this is just out of character, and it's not working out for them.
Yeah, it's been really tough, considering everything is occurring for them to hit the 4th place spot, right? You cannot give anything more to them. And you heard people, even Baton yesterday, when they lost and got 2nd place in that final zone, we just gave them a gift. Well, Influence Rage is giving you a gift to try and unseat them, and you still are not able to maintain that. You just have to focus in your lane, play that game, hit the rotations, and just be smart about it. And you're down to Obscure. For NRG Galaxy, though, picking up 1 elimination thus far, needs to hit that rotate and own that southeastern side of the play zone.
Yeah, Deathwolves, your double points days tomorrow, but you cannot depend on that, especially when you have a team like Alpha 7 who are going to be thirsting and hungry for points. Teams at the bottom are going to be just pushing silly, and Obscure goes down. That is going to be absolutely rough, as Deathwolves are eliminated with 0 points. So not able to to take that gift. Like you said earlier, Tiff, it's going to be difficult. But still, 3 matches left to go. Anything can happen.
Well, maybe the gift was meant for Furia. They're sitting on 4 eliminations, 10 points out from Deathwolves, 14 points out from Influence Rage. So keep your eyes on them. They're kind of in that northwestern side of the zone. Teams that are nearby them, All Glory Gaming, Alpha 7, and then they have N-Hyper out to the west, which is, I quite frankly, I don't want N-Hyper anywhere near me at this point.
Don't want them anywhere near you, and I cannot blame at all. So let's see how this is going to go as Baton. Oh, yeah, Baton is out in the open here. Furia, but is Furia really utilizing this to their best ability? That's my question, because they need crazy points, but they also need to stop Deathwolves hard today and tomorrow and continue to hope that B-Bold hunts down Influence Rage for the rest of the day.
I mean, that's true, but at the end of the day, Deathwolves and Influence Rage are both out of this game, and just the way that this day has gone, it's very much in Furia's favor now. We just need to see something massive come through for this game, because if all the teams on the north collapse on each other, Furia can just sit back from their positions and clean it up. For NRG, it's tough for them. They're kind of on the outside looking in on the southern side.
Definitely on the outside looking in. You can see J7 trying to look where to go for this next circle. It is going to be a tough one. They're going to have to push right into the open here to that tree line. Oh, Inco Gaming still up here with 4, but they are beat up bad. Dan and Beth is going to have to find a way into this next circle as well.
Oh, and it's B-Bold out here. Just really taking shots, doing work on them, allowing other teams to apply the pressure. 1 HP for Nenevete. David trying to hit an angle.
Oh boy. Let's see, David, trying to hit those shots. Inco Gaming 7 is on the run right now, and I cannot say that I blame him at all. So let's see. Oh, what is he going to do in this position as 7 is trying to push up here? They do make it to this chopstick side, but they're going to have to push through B-Bold.
Oh, this is just... I don't want to say today is chalked for a lot of teams, but it's feeling like it.
Not looking good. That is for sure. NRG Galaxy get eliminated here. Alpha 7 still up, but Nenebete putting in some work. That's what we want to see.
We do want to see that. And also, N-Hyper has decided to full send a team elsewhere. All Glory Gaming going to fall. Team Liquid getting into this as well. Takes down 2 members of B-Bold, allowing Inco Gaming to waltz right in and try to clean that up. Now, granted, if Team Liquid is already getting here, then you have to worry about them really extending out into this fight.
You definitely do. And you can see Vitali getting those thirst. 3 eliminations so far for Inco's looking pretty good. But let's see what else. Team Liquid is right next to them. That would be a big battle for them, and it looks like it's coming as Nunez, with a mistake, does Molly Nenebete, but they should be safe because Fran is not looking in this direction. Oh, that nade. Oh, I thought it was bouncing off the top of the roof. That would have been bad.
Oh, no.
Oh, they're able to make it for now. Now they realize Fran is overextended. Oh, he gets 1. They cannot afford to lose 1 player here. They lose them anyway. Little of a mistake here for Inco. Losing a player like that's going to be rough.
And B-Bold falls with 1 elimination. Let's see if we can get that pickup onto Nenebete. But did this open the door for Team Liquid to full send? Because you see the frags, they're incoming. Team Liquid just looking for some angles here on the outside, looking in. The Molly connects, re-knocks Nenebete, and 7 goes for the push, but falls to Ayala.
Oh, here comes Team Liquid now, looking to soak up those points, and that should be enough to finally cross that 900-point threshold. First team to do that in this tournament. Alpha 7 are still alive, though. Let's see if they're going to be able to close that gap by a little bit. But, man, Team Liquid are starting to soak up some points. Let's see where this next zone goes. It does go a little bit towards the side of Team Liquid, so not a tough rotation for them, but they're going to have to push out wide in the open.
This is crazy. And Hyper's on 10 eliminations on that western side. They have just really been fragging out, and Furia starts to investigate what's occurring down there. They decide to rotate back on up through the north and kind of play the long game because they're sitting on 4 eliminations. And at the end of the day, they just need to bolster that, just knowing Deathwolves are 10 points ahead of them. But for N-Hyper, a team that's in 10th place on the leaderboard, still able to move up because they have 24 points separating them between them and the first place. Or not first place, first page.
Yeah, they're almost there, looking to break through that first page and represent North America. Love to see N-Hyper showing up big here towards the end. Let's see just how much further they're going to go up here. A Simple does get a knock on the baton, so they're going to have to try. Actually, that res is too far out, so they're going to lose baton. FS trying to get this lucky nade on the Fury. Let's see if he can get it.
All right, Caprice. I don't know. We want a happy baton, right? Sour Patch said it the best. Like, Sour Patch is like, yes, we love you when you're like this. I mean, you just got fully limbed when I talked about you being happy, but it's fine. We go again and drop number 4 on Sandhawk. Happy baton, happy me.
Happy baton, happy Sour Patch, happy everybody. And let's see, Cardosen's going to get pretty happy here with that knock onto Connor. He's going to take down FS, though. That's going to be a big loss there for N-Hypers. They're down to 1, and that edge play working so well early game. Towards the end, it's tough, and rightfully so. This zone right here is very difficult. It is all wide in the open, and that is the position that they were forced to take. So it's an all-out war here on this side, but it might be a war between Alpha 7 and Team Liquid at the end of this.
That is the battle that we need to see. Team Liquid already getting 6 eliminations, Alpha 7 on 5. Now, they did start clawing back on that points differential, but it is a mountain because Team Liquid had a really good double point day yesterday. The frags, they are going through the open field. They're connecting. We're seeing knocks, and, well, N-Hyper, they have fallen with 10 eliminations, but this is the battle that I want to see. The 2 titans of our lobby.
Let's go. Let's see how it's going to work out. Cardosen getting some shots down on Magrella. He pops out the vehicle, but gets shot in the back by Potro. That is a big, huge win there for Alpha 7. Let's see if they're going to be able to steal that elimination. Oh, Potro does get the confirm. But that hurts Team Liquid big time, as it is just Ayala left for the team.
Oh, this is, okay, look, hear me out. You could argue all day that you said earlier Mythic was the best player from this squad on paper, right? Ayala might be one of my favorites, and that's just because of the angles and the openings that he creates for a lot of the Team Liquid members. So to have Ayala last standing, I bet we're going to get some mixy moments.
Let's see him mix it up here in a second, as he might have a shot onto Revo, but man, Mafioso is getting it done. This is the problem with Alpha 7. When they have their backs to a wall and wide out in the open, this is where they're best.
It's true. They got all 4 members up, 7 eliminations on the board. The only team that's got all 4 members up is also Furia with 6. So very much a like story here on this drop number 3 for them. And, well, you know what happens when you leave a 9Z solo left in the lobby. You've got to deal with it while you can. And, well, A7 going to pick up that elimination.
Let's see. Are they going to be able to get that elimination here onto Furia with that nade? No, not going to be able to do it. So just a little bit too short. But again, this is where they work best. All they got to do is just focus on the people in front of them. And let's see who's going to get that critical first knock between Alpha 7 and Furia.
It's a matter of time. Honestly, can we just talk about the fact that Team Queso is currently in 4th place right now? They made it to the top 4 and still alive. They get top 3. Team Liquid, Ayala, going to get caught out. Good for them. Great for Alpha 7. But I love that we're making the most of our placement points on our double points day.
Yes. You got to be able to make the most of it, especially on your double points day. So Team Queso, I mean, this was huge because they lost everybody so early on. And this is the best case scenario for Team Queso to do that. So they got 5 eliminations. Hopefully we can see them snake another. But at least 3rd place placement points are going to be solid. So unfortunately, their last game, it was great, but it isn't going to be their low game. This is definitely going to be one of them here. So let's see what he decides to do.
This is what I would do. Because you're going to have this big battle, this big 4v4 isolated fight over there between Alpha 7 and Furia. If I'm Team Queso, I've done enough, right? Maybe I go over there, look for some off angles, and just try to rip eliminations away from either of the squads.
That could definitely happen here, especially like right now. Sit back, relax, let this fight happen. If Furia and Alpha 7 get into it, just let them take out each other, maybe secure 2nd place, and hopefully, yeah, like you mentioned, clean up some eliminations on the way. But he cannot shoot too early. He does not want to give them any reason to shoot his direction. Look at that. Alpha 7, they don't need sight lines. They don't need to see you. They see those smokes, they're going to pre-fire it all day long trying to hit a hit marker.
You might as well. If you've got the ammo, you've got all the utility to make that work, send it. Grelline here on the screen, and we're going to start getting shot at there, and you just got to go prone, try to reset, figure things out, because, I mean, it's 6 eliminations. You're knocking on Deathwolf's door, and we just have to get across.
Oh, I cannot believe Potro took this. He took the roof. He took the roof, and he's looking to still get active here. Very, very risky. Because a lot of people are going to be looking in this direction. Yeah, you saw him just peek his head out there for half a second, immediately peek back down.
Oh.
That smoke's going to go towards that hay bale there. But, oh, my goodness. Yeah, I think Potro realizes that, yeah, just second place isn't enough. I need to steal some elims here. Let's see if he's going to be able to secure at least one. Jumps down. Vehicle's away.
Oh.
Yep, never mind. Oh, they were staring at that vehicle.
Revo.
He said, "No, sir." And that is Team Queso eliminated. Hey, look at that. Revo just shooting some victory shots after that one. And they're looking for this chicken dinner. 10 eliminations so far from Alpha 7.
They just had to do that, didn't they? They really did. You're not even going to let him have a chance at picking up some more points on double points day. Come on.
Oh, boy. Alpha 7, they are ruthless. I'll say that right here, right now. They do not care. They do not care. Let's see if they're able to secure a chicken dinner here at the end, though, because this is getting really close. Beauty gets the knock, though. The first one on a McGrellin, it's a 4v3.
Okay, look, but we got 7 nades in the hand of one member of Furia, so it is a matter of time. You get the thirst, you hit the drive-by. Can you take advantage of this situation?
If you got the nades, you should be chunking them right now at that vehicle. You get one hit, or at least worst case, you force them to pop up. Let your teammates get those shots off. That could be interesting. So Furia in the vehicles. Are they going to make mistakes here? They don't. As Carrillo gets a knock, Revo gets thirsted. It's really up to Mafioso and Carrillo. Oh, Furia! Get the chicken dinner, and you can see these guys pumped up. So beautiful game for this squad. Alpha 7, they put up some good points on the board as well, though.
They really did, but Furia is 18 points back from 4th place, and with Influence, Rage just dropping the ball here today. Furia needed this winner chicken dinner with 10 eliminations.
No way.
Yeah, that's
No way.
that's big. That is big. Furia, was in the conversation on the double points day. They were non-existent. Yeah. Now we're 2 days away. Actually, just a day and a half away, right? To be more specific, even 9 games away from crowning our champion and, more importantly, our top 4. And Furia makes now an appearance out of nowhere with 10 eliminations and a winner-winner chicken dinner, which I think is at the perfect time, Hot Juice, given the fact that the only team that's performing well, who has a real shot at making it in, or at least holding on to top 4 or making it into top 4, is Team Queso off of the back of 2 games, right? They get 3rd place with 5 eliminations in this game, and then 2nd place, or should be 1st place with 8 eliminations last game. So Furia is making this potential like, hey, they could do this moment.
There's no way, Taylor. There's no way this team should still be in the conversation. Let's be real, right? With Influence Rage on their double points day, they should have way more points than this. They should have a lead that there's no way Furia could even get close to passing, but they've dropped the ball. They've dropped the ball so hard that Influence Rage, that Furia is now like, hey, Influence Rage, right? We might just kick you out of top 4.
Dude, they are, it's like they're chalked. I mean, some teams just get it in their head. It's like, man, nothing we're doing is working. Be Bold, I think, hurt the mental of Influence Rage, and now Fury is just cleaning them up. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I think that could be any team, honestly, at this point. Influence Rage have to pick themselves up from the gutter, because at this moment in time, it's just not working. But again, the big caveat is, Tiff, none of the teams really in the race for top 4 is doing that well, outside, of course, of Alpha 7 and Team Liquid, who continue to be consistent.
Yeah, and while this is happening, Team Queso is just finding different ways. They had a 36-point game in drop number 2. They made the most of a lackluster performance here in drop number 3. You have a solo that goes all the way to top 3 teams left standing. So you're doing the best that you can, and you just have to know that Alpha 7 is going to reap the lobby in terms of eliminations because they're already gunning for what they can do to get ahead of Team Liquid. So they're doing the best, and that just shakes everything up, along with teams like N-Hyper, which have just also been full sending anything and everything.
Ooh, that's 20 points coming out from Team Queso. That's great because, 36, I believe, from last game. So 56 over the past 2 games is massive. We know they needed to close the 60-point or 50-something point difference between them and 4th place, which was Influence Rage. So the potential to catch up is absolutely there, especially with 3 more games to go. They know they're going to see a Miramar again, so the potential of another winner chicken dinner is there. They know they're going to see another Arigel again, so if they can just clean up that early game where they lost 2 members early on, going against Royals of War, there could be a potential that Team Queso, a team that excites me, could very well dethrone so many hopes and dreams from the top 4 race. But Furia too, again, 20 points, Hot Juice, they're back in the conversation. So things are developing in a pretty chaotic way over even the first 3 games.
Oh man, it's so chaotic because now this is just an all-out war between so many squads. As we take a look here at the second page and the big name, Tid, we can see it right there at the bottom.
I mean, yeah, the Influence Rage over there? Yeah. I'm nervous, honestly, because I had so much faith in this squad. They were looking stellar yesterday, just being consistent. They had that win on drop number 5 for Miramar with 11 eliminations, but it just wasn't their double point day. And now, looking at the overalls, Furia did what they needed to do. 18 points back from 4th place coming into Erangel, drop number 3. They grabbed 20 and see that 4th place. That survival stage is in their grasp.
You know, the thing was, I knew we built this narrative about Furia being chalked, and I hopped on board with it, and I believed it at the time, but I also, there was just this...
It should be!
But there was a feeling in the back of my head, Hot Juice, that was just but I don't really think they're out of it. Compared to, the other rosters, if their double point state, today doesn't work out for Influence Rage, or Team Queso's doing their best, but, Rose of War, for example, Furia's in there.
They should be out of this thing. There's no way they're still in this conversation. I'm so shocked because, it's double points day for Influence Rage,
right.
Team Queso, and Royals of War, right? All these teams need points. Alpha 7 desperately need the points because they need to catch Team Liquid. And it makes me scared because you got, Influence Rage just going absolutely bonkersly bad at this point. I don't know what else to say. It's just so crazy. And you got Death Wolves playing scary, right? They're not just doing hardcore pushes like we've seen before. We see them playing it very soft, which opens the door for Fury as well. So, man, I don't know. I don't know who's going to get 3rd or 4th place at this point.
So we don't know. And that's the exciting thing about the standings currently, right? It's who is going to get the top 4 because it should be apparent who's going to be there. But it's not because the teams just don't perform well on their double points day from time to time. No changes on the second page, but first page is definitely heating up quite a bit. Things are for sure getting exciting. Sandhawk, though, is a map that is coming up next, obviously. But for Team Queso, this is one that they need to perform well on. We know their Miramar solid. We know their Erangel is solid, but is their Team Queso, is their Sandhawk going to be solid? For Team Queso, they need 3 maps that are solid. If they don't have that, well, their top 4 run, it might be over with, or at least it's going to come down to Sunday. But hey, map number 4 is going to be Sandhawk. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the tournament.
could be another big game for Furia. So, yeah, Influence Rage need to change their strategies. They need at least one big game today at a minimum. But, I mean, with 3 more left to go, they could still have a monster day. But it needs to start now.
They could. They could. And Deathwolves, too, another conversation. A team that is looking to gain as much as they can today before they head into double points tomorrow. Today has not worked out for them, Tiff. Deathwolves, where are they struggling? What's going on with them?
It's very much the same story that we see from Influence Rage and also Inco Gaming. They're just not being able to get that momentum that they need. And honestly, don't leave things till tomorrow. We are already seeing so many different teams from all over the leaderboard that are just looking to frag out and do everything that they can, which is why some of our teams that are needing to perform well, just not being able to get that moving for them. So hopefully we can shake things off. I don't care if you stood up, did some jumping jacks, grabbed a bunch of water coming into Sandhawk, because this is the perfect map to get everything back on track.
I think so. Like I said, it's a fresh start in my opinion, right? It's a map that's only played once. This is where you gain your momentum once again. It's also an aggressive map. Team Liquid though tends to do very well here, but the good news is for Influence Rage and Furia, both of those teams, Hot Juice, yesterday, Influence Rage did lock in a second place on Sandhawk with 10 eliminations. That would be insane for them, given how their first 3 games ended up turning out. But for Influence Rage, seriously, what has to change? Because we talked about their mental maybe being shocked. We talked about potentially, just getting challenged by people early on. Were they being targeted? At this point, I don't think so, because they weren't targeted in Game 3. I think it just happened to be happenstance that they were running into each other, especially over the past couple of days. But Influence Rage, as a competitor, which you have been, what do you do on this roster to pick themselves up?
You gotta have that one player just scream, "Let's go!" You know what I'm saying?
Which is your thing?
It's my thing, but it's gotta be their thing, right? They need something to just kind of relax a little bit and play their same game. You remember when I talked about it pretty much all tournament long? I wanted to see teams do something to disrupt squads on their double points day, and all it took was one hot drop, right? That's all it took. One hot drop, one little, rotational thing, and it just so happens Be Bold took them out twice. It got in their heads, and we can just see how effective it's been here. So they got to just kind of wash their shoulders with that and say, hey, yesterday we crushed it at Sandhawk. Let's do it again here today. And if we're able to do that, we can still have a great day and still make sure that we secure a 3rd place position here. It's still possible for Influence Rage. It's not over yet.
I think so. It is definitely possible. After yesterday, I'm just shocked at the performance today. But again, I believe it's just it strictly is it is a mental thing as far as I'm concerned. I know they have the gun skill. We know they can be successful, but I think those early games just knocked the wind out of them without question. Now, as far as Team Queso goes, again, still a big leap that they have to take in order to catch up, right, and get up to the top 4 position. But it's very possible if they continue to get these 20, 30-point games. 30-point games is really what's needed. I know Miramar Erangel can go well for them. I'm curious if Sandhawk can go well for them. That's really the big question mark. If they can get through that, I think anything is possible. And speaking of Team Queso, by the way, we do have an interview. Starpatch was on site with Team Queso's Portro after their Game 2 win. Let's hear what Portro had to say.
Guys, here we are with Potro from Team Queso. Bro, congratulations, a great match. How are you guys feeling? Felicitaciones por la buena partida, ¿cómo se están sintiendo?
Bien, tranquilo y contento a seguir sumando.
Yeah, we're feeling fine, relax, just have to continue getting some points. Today the teams are, you guys got double points, and the teams that are up top are playing so-so, especially those that are 4th and 3rd and 5th place. Do we still have hope to get to qualify to the World Cup? Los equipos de arriba están ahí medio más o menos, no están sumando tanto, tenemos doble punto, tenemos esperanza todavía para clasificar.
Sí, la esperanza siempre está a seguir sumando, aprovechar los puntos dobles y ojalá que los rivales no sumen tanto.
Yes, hope is the last thing you lose. We have double points, so we have to continue getting some points, and hopefully the teams up there don't do many points. Mr. Potro, thank you very much. Best of luck. Let's go back.
Jukes, I love that answer. Hope is the last thing we lose, right? Their goal in mind is to go to the qualification stage, maybe even make it into group stage. Team Queso are locked in.
They're locked in, and there's still 3 games left to go. It's possible. It's possible. They've done great so far. I just hope that they don't have a bad game and just lose that momentum. Utilize it. The problem is, though, Tiff, it's going to be hard at Sandhawk, because Sandhawk is anyone's game, right?
It really is, but maybe it's Team Queso's. I just did some math. I used a calculator because caster math gets wild. If they average 14 points per game and Furia does absolutely nothing for the rest of the 3, well, Team Queso has done enough to take that 4th place slot. And based off their 36-point win in drop number 2 and a 20 points that they salvaged from Erangel, they're exceeding the expectations of that number.
Well, let's see what their start looks like. A strong initial is needed. Team Queso come out the gate swinging, and that kind of statement can be applied to multiple teams now trying to break into the top 4. I'm excited for this one. The odd map out. See how it works out. Hot Juke, Spider Tip, take it away.
Let's go. Let's get it going. Let's continue this tournament right here, because you know what? It's almost over here, Tim. It's almost over. Only 2 days left. Actually, I'm sorry, 2 games after this and 1 day left. Are you kidding me? This is where it's all about. So Furia going to their same spot. Team Queso going towards Hot 10. Both these teams are just praying and hoping that the zone goes their way.
Like, what do? Do you drop on Furia? Do you chow them? Do you get Nixie? Because I want to see that level of assertion come from some of our squads. Now, granted, if I'm Influence Rage and everything's been a little done and dusted, but no, it's the time of the essence. Hey! Picks up a weapon, he takes down Stars, immediately fools them, and this battle has been occurring since the dawn of time. It's been written about in the history books of ages. Capriz answers back with maybe one of their own, but when N-Hyper's down to 2 and gets down to 1, FS, what are we gonna do about it?
Oh, what are you going to do about it? Because you're right. This battle has been etched in the stone of Pubg Mobile, and you do not want, at the bottom line, Tiff, right? E7, beat, and Hyper here. This is the second to last one. We're only going to see this battle happen one more time, and that's going to have to be tomorrow. So let's see if FS can do some work here in a 1v2 situation. Oh, he had the opportunity. The nade was pulled back, but didn't capitalize on it. And that, you might not get that chance again.
Oh, no, because all they have to do is just hit him with a massive push. Yesterday, we had some people that decided to roll up on this fight pretty quickly. For now, it's still that 1v2. FS is trying to force them into the angles to really work upon that, but not a lot of ammo left. Kind of unfortunate. And that seals the deal, and
Look at Stars, he was laughing. Stars was laughing at that one. He's smiling because he's like, oh, they got us, dude. They got us. Oh, so far, Entity 7 get the last laugh on N-Hyper, but we will see this battle one more time. Honestly, that's the finale I want to see, Tim. Right?
You know
Who's gonna win that one?
You get one more chance to see that tomorrow. You realize that, right? Like, you gotta just be like, all right, crack the knuckles, going into Sandhawk, who's taking it? N-Hyper or Entity 7? But at the end of the day, N-Hyper did walk away with 2 eliminations and force Entity 7 to be a duo.
I guarantee you, Stars, you don't even care about this leaderboard anymore. Like, tomorrow, that's the battle, right? They're going to be just warming up for match number 4. And, we better see that hop drop again. Otherwise, I'm going to be so disappointed.
I would too. And we get a look at where that zone is going to be shifting towards. We're going to the south side of Sandhawk.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, we got a southern Sandhawk zone. That's going to make things very, very interesting here. So looking at this position, and this would have been a great zone for N-Hyper, but unfortunately, they are out of here. Now we're going to have to see Furia push on down through. This could be a good chance for them to pick up some nice points against E7, because let's be real, Furia, their gap is getting close. As we watch this battle one more time.
We have to.
Always hilarious. Yeah, we got to watch it one more time. Oh, FS. Goodbye. Yeah, Furia, the shots of the box. That's what we missed. That's what we needed to see, because it was definitely some toxicity right there. All Glory Gaming going out. Nice, from 9Z. But yeah, Furia, they don't need to just catch, hold on to 4th place because Death Wolves double points day is tomorrow too. So they need to just continue on that rampage and just get points like crazy here.
Yeah, they really do. Death Wolves so far in the prior 2 weeks have only accrued 57 bonus points. So haven't necessarily made the most of them. Royals of War currently on theirs, makes the play into there and gets kind of taken out. Can Tonka hit this res before anyone decides to push on it? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, NC7, duo.
Duo. Yeah, that's the position they're in, and that's some easy points right there if you're Royals of War, but still, you don't want to make many mistakes, because NE7, they got nothing to lose here. Oh, Aragod should have an angle, though. Oh, yeah, he saw him. He knows exactly where they're at. They're in big trouble.
All right, looking for those angles. Hate, though. Throws out that nade, doesn't connect.
No
Jocko
way.
is able to grab the knock onto Victix. There goes the full. And the fact that we're making this work. Okay, there we go with Aragod. There goes the full, and now Hate last standing.
How did this happen? Oh, even losing a player, if you're Royals of War right here, is just brutal. And, oh my gosh, yeah, okay, you get the thirst on your double points day. 2 eliminations. But losing Victex here is going to be early. Oh, NRG, though, getting up against Alpha 7. This is a nice fight here. Let's see who's going to win this one. And it looks like Team Liquid's in the mix as well. So Spec trying to shut down the most vicious squad in this lobby. And he is pre-firing like crazy. Revo catches Malas. Bait pushes in the open, gets taken down. Alpha 7 just absolutely deleting NRG.
That's crazy to be seen. Elsewhere, Be Bold started picking apart Team Liquid, finding one. I believe it was Mythic going down, so Team Liquid will be left to a trio for the remainder of this Sandhawk, and a full reset coming in from Alpha 7. Despite some trades coming through, we did not give up any eliminations to NRG.
Oh, no eliminations at all. We like to see that. So, I mean, Alpha 7, they need to make this catch, and that's how you do it, right there, right? Just continue to just put in that work, put up some points, not losing a single player. Best case scenario for sure.
Very much so, but for now, all Glory Gaming. We've lost out on Padrino, down to 3. And you can just see the angles that we are. We're very separated. Guapo is out here spectating on 9Z, and Fran and Melgar just towards the south. Now, knowing that Alpha 7 had just cleaned up that fight, will be looking to rotate in. And it seems to be that they have set their eyes on to 9Z's position.
Oh, boy. So they are setting their eyes on 9Z's position. Anything is possible. So Alpha 7 are just continuing to look and dominate here as Mafioso playing it very, very quiet. That's what I think. That's why Alpha 7's so good, Tiff, right? Is their ability to have that aggressiveness and passiveness like a light switch, right? Ooh. They flip it off and they can go full on turtle mode and then just straight on lion, right? And just a flick of a switch here. And now it's time to turn on the lion because this zone has shifted even further south. They're on the edge here. They're going to have to find a way to cross this water.
This is very similar to the Sandhawk we witnessed yesterday, except it pulled way further out towards that coastline, and Furia was just on the edge. Now that they're already reading this, they're hitting that rotation towards the center of the play zone. Now, if I say it's similar to yesterday, do you want to know what happened? Furia grabbed a top 3 finish. Influence Rage grabbed a second with 10 eliminations, and it was Team Liquid who was able to win it with 11. But Team Liquid already suffered some casualties, losing out on 1. So now, what is Influence Rage going to be able to do? Furia, though, already picking up some more elims, has won once Aragod.
Let's see. Yuria, if you're going to take out an A team, might as well be Rolls of War, right? Shut down their double points day. Don't even give them a shot to even get close to catching you. And with 3 matches left, they could have. They definitely could have. But Rolls of War just have not had a good double points day today at all. So, possibly falling down to the pressure. So many different things could have happened. But Tonka runs on the open. Oh, barely makes it to that rock.
It's like, this is a nice rock. This rock just saved
I love
me.
this rock. He's like, this is my favorite rock.
Aragon's just stuck behind the tree. Don't leave the rock. No,
don't leave the rock.
Someone finds an angle onto Aragon. They'll fall. That tree is not big enough to hold you from all angles.
Second rock. Man, not looking good. Yeah, Rolls of War, just inconsequential at this point. I mean, losing everybody with just one player. For Yuria, yeah, might as well. Go for the full push. get this confirmation and shut them down. And they're looking to get a little bit active here. But at the same time, not trying to take risks. So let's see what Furia opts to do. They have one player behind them in a vehicle, but they're second-guessing themselves. And honestly, I can't blame them. They have such a strong position in the zone.
They really do. And honestly, I look at that, I'm like, Be Bold does as well. You're surrounded by Team Liquid and Alpha 7 and Furia, which doesn't make me feel comfortable, but it just depends on what that positioning looks like so you can really anchor down throughout it. 9Z, though, suffering still some more losses here. I'm not sure if we're going to ever be able to recover Connor, so it's just going to be Choco and Elite last standing to run it out.
Run it out, indeed. And that's what's going to happen here. As you can see, Choco ready to get on the move. But yeah, 9Z just so far down the leaderboards. Not really much they could do. But hey, trying to make a name for themselves here. I'll tell you what, out of all the players for 9Z, I got to give it up to Elite, though. Elite, just always you see him make those clutch plays for that team.
Ooh, this is that positioning that I was talking about from Be Bold. They've got one elimination so far. Still looking to get on that front page, and with Royals of War being on their double points day, it's a good opportunity for them to break through those 9 points that are needed to jump onto that first page. But when you look at the setup here, 9Z the duo just to their south, Team Liquid 2 ahead of them. It's interesting when you've got a crate that's like, yeah, I kind of want that, but no one's going to extend out to take that right now.
Oh, yeah, they're not. But you know who needs to extend out right now? Look at the top of the map, Tiff. It's Inko and Team Queso. So close together. That is a massive battle that's about to happen, especially with this next zone. Where's it going to pop to? It pops down south, so they're going to have to fight each other. And Influence Rage is right there, too.
That's scary, but I love that Furia had used the last stage to move further east, and Titan Gaming grabs a full-on Dwight Elegy, knowing that they were kind of so far away from the rest of the team. And taking one, forcing them to be left to 3. Redox, has been just substantially improving, fragging out, getting crazy, and it's been so nice to see. And speaking of nice to see, Silence comes on up. Nunez shuts him down. That's unfortunate.
Ding, ding, ding. The battle has begun between these two teams, and it's so unfortunate indeed for Team Queso as they are getting shredded. And this is that dream, right? That hope we were talking about earlier. Oh, it's going to crumble away here as they lose so many players. But more hope for Inko, right, to continue to hang on for third place. Potro. And, of course, it's Potro, the last player up for the team. And so far away from the zone, it's not looking good.
It's very much what we just witnessed from the drop 3 on Erangel for them, except they don't have the eliminations to be worth kind of going the distance for, right? Because it's double points. So if you're just doubling a third place position, that only gets you 10. It's still better than nothing on your double points day. And Redox here, peppered from afar, still repositioning. We're on that eastern side. We're not in the next play zone. And you've got a couple people that are looking for you. And it's going to be SLR trying to answer back for what they took.
Yeah, they're trying to answer back indeed, and it's just looking a little crazy here as Titan Gaming are on the full push, trying to find a way into this next zone, and let's just see where they end up. So Titan Gaming, double points day, not having the day that they've been looking for. Yeah, inactive in the blue here. They're just going to go out to blue. It's going to be hard. Unless they make it into the water, but still, that's going to be a hard cross. Redox with a full send, and Fran is just waiting for him.
Like, oh, hey, so nice to see you. Maybe we'll see what the rest of your team gets to. They're just looking to find any kind of elimination, hoping that they're already weak from blue and that they just have to pepper them a few times. And the next thing you know, they've got a knock. That's great. They've already got 2 eliminations for AGG. And, well, N-Hyper is above them. And if they wanted to break into the top 10, it's tough because of the way N-Hyper has played throughout the first 3 drops. That one they're going to be a little more silent on because at the end of the day, if someone's driving by, they can just hop out the vehicle and chow this if they really wanted to.
Yeah, they sure can. So Titan Gaming, they need to push. They have 2 players. You have one friend. Push out, take them out, and then let Doran make it into this next zone here. But Titan Gaming looking to play a passive. And that, actually, yeah, I think they're worried about Grupo up north. So kind of stuck. Looks like they're going to just make that sacrifice of Doran.
Yeah, you can see SLR starting to move into that play zone, but it bounces back towards the west. Furia, where did you commit to the south side? So now when you think about where you need to go, you have Deathwolves to your west, Alpha 7 to the north.
Oh boy, and you can just see Doran on the move, and he's actually being able to get close here. Oh, that's a big one though. Deathwolves versus Furia. That's a big battle, and it looks like Deathwolves got a little bit of the better of them here. And this is going to be all the way on the south side, so Deathwolves have a big opportunity to gatekeep them. That's Worlds of War eliminated. That's a tough loss there.
That is tough. They did get some eliminations, but I think these are good shouts here between Furia and Deathwolves, right? Deathwolves opened it up, and now Alpha 7, they hear the shots. They full send from the north and will be a third party to this situation. And as soon as I'm Furia hearing that, I want to be like, okay, maybe we just see what Alpha 7 can do while Team Queso falls with 0. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, so unfortunate indeed. Rattleboy is going to go and start off the nades here. This is a big battle between two teams. Deathwolves below them. They're going to have their double points day tomorrow. So if you're Furia, you need to do extra work to take this team out here and now.
Rattaboy pretty low on health. We see that nade cooking to answer back to Furia, and Alpha 7 hasn't overextended by any means, because if you think about it, they've got a nice compound inside that next play zone. Deathwolves, they're trying to hold out on the west, returning some cover for themselves. Influence, Rage, I see a player that gets knocked because they decide to rotate in, and they've got to deal with Be Bold and Inco Gaming nearby them.
Yeah, they do. Let's see right now is we're going to watch Influence Rage. This is the team all eyes are on right now. The Influence Rage, it's their double points day with one game. They can rocket launch past Furia. So they're in a good position here. They're right here near Sami and going to hold this spot down, but they cannot overextend. Oh, and look who they're going up against.
Yep.
Out of all the teams, they got their eyes on Be Bold.
You know what? We've already got Law down and out. Not sure if we're going to be able to get that res back onto them. We'll see. It looks like a player is looking to hit that recovery, but Inco Gaming starting to set their sights on the SLR, and Diego not straight towards Rattaboy. Catches him out in the open. The tree, though, might stop that full from occurring.
Oh, what a shot from Guizao as he gets the knock. And let's see what happens here, because I guarantee you if Deathwolves realize this is Influence Rage, they should, now they know. After that thirst, they know, and you can see them pop out the vehicles immediately. They need to take this team out.
We wait, we see, use vehicles for cover, but we've moved into the center of the play zone, and it's starting to look real bleak there for Diego.
Boy. Influence Rage is splitting their forces. They're looking at two different teams here, and they are getting punished for it. Yeah, now you got Inco looking at Milo, Deathwolves looking at them as well, and both of these teams are looking to hunt down Influence Rage. So this is what I was talking about. Sometimes you don't want to take that fight earlier on because you're going to get targeted.
You know what's going to be really interesting? I was curious if Furia was going to hard wrap on Deathwolves while this was going down, but it doesn't seem to be that. They cut north just ahead of them into the line of sight, and Deathwolves shuts that down. It must be the 4th place survival stage curse. The moment you hit 4th, you just cannot do anything.
Oh, you really, really can. And it is so crazy to see that as Furia getting eliminated here has got to hurt. Team Liquid, though, pressing on to Be Bold. Surprise, surprise, there is somebody there. Let's see what Ayala can do in the front lines. Able to get some nice shots there. Trying to go for the confirm. Not able to do so as Be Bold is ready to hold it up. Be Bold is looking to just destroy everyone's dreams here.
Dreams being crushed all around as Team Liquid has fallen. Now, granted, we're chilling. We broke 900 points already. We're sitting at 909, but Alpha 7 on 6 eliminations could really thank Be Bold for this moment.
Oh, yes, they can. And they should. That's for sure. Because Alpha 7 are getting some eliminations onto Titan Gaming. Now, that's 9 already. So Alpha 7 are turning things up here from the south side. And they got their eyes set towards the center of the map. But right now, my eyes are really on... Look at this. Look at this. Almost every single person here needs these points so desperately. Except for 9Z, you know? But you got Inco. They get the zone. That's huge. Influence Rage need to now gatekeep Alpha 7 as a duo. That's going to be hard.
Yeah, you're just going to have to find some crazy angles, knowing that 9Z and B Bold are going to be moving in from the eastern side also. So it's not just Alpha 7 you have to contend with, it's everyone else on the side of that lobby. Death Wolves really needs to make a play for Inco Gaming, but you have to choose your timing on that because Alpha 7 could go on that major south side sweep. Because with Inco Gaming getting this zone pretty much gifted to them for their positioning and having coverage, it's just makes such a difference.
It does. That makes a big difference here. You can see Vitali waiting for that bell to go off as the zone is now beginning to close. This is a stage 6 shift. Alpha 7 are going to start pushing into Influence Rage, and that battle will happen. But meanwhile, Death Wolves, they might spot him. Nope, Carrillo does first. He gets the thirst on the law really quickly. He knows it's Influence Rage. At the end of the day, the only threat Alpha 7 has is Team Liquid, and they are already out. So they're just looking to put some points on the board.
Perfect opportunity. They could get crafty. And Mafioso through the blades of the grass, sensing that there's players all around them. And I thought they were going to hit that long wrap. They don't. They're going to work the eastern side of the play zone instead. Death Wolves full sends over to Inco, and Inco are going to be the ones to kick things off.
And here they go. Obscure getting eliminated. So that's Death Wolves out of there with 5 eliminations. And meanwhile, Alpha 7 have just their eyes on the prize here. Looking really good. This is a big game, though, for Inco. This is a huge opportunity for them to continue and extend that lead. They get the circle here. They need to win this game.
They do, honestly. Coming into this match with 679 points, 59 over Furia. And if you take a massive win, I honestly think you've secured third for you. Set her out, grab a knock, we get another one. We just need some eliminations here. It's double points, but with Federal last standing, and we can just see them threading between the tree and the boulder. We reposition and try to let the fools come to you. Fran from behind gets fooled. You love to see it.
Federal is just going crazy. White out in the open, gets another knock. This man is trying to keep his tournament alive. That could be it. I mean, that's a good amount of points there for Influence Rage. But Alpha 7 is so hurt. Automatic Inco Gaming win. And you can see the pop-off. These guys are pumped.
Oh, yeah. It's like, hey, we're in third. We want to go to the ESWC group stage, and that could just really seal the deal, knowing that there's only 2 more drops for today and 6 more tomorrow.
Unbelievable. So many teams that needed those points so desperately got them on Sandhawk. That leaves 2 more matches left to go today. We got a Miramar and we got Erangel. This is going to be interesting, Tiff. It's going to be a close battle. As a matter of fact, Taylor, what do you think about that? Inco Gaming get the chicken dinner.
It's big, man. Inco Gaming is a team that needed some life, right? They were slowly, just maintaining what they had, but you got to get a little bit worried. Despite the other rosters, struggling a little bit, Inco still needed to do some more work in order to solidify the position that they have. So good on them. 12 eliminations, too, is one of the top scores of the day. In fact, it is the top score of the day, so you can't argue with that. But I want to go back to the beginning. This fight's been taking place. It's literally day 1, Tiff, and finally E7 gets a win in Ruins over in Hyper.
I just have a feeling Stars is going to wake up 20 years from now, and he's got a family, and we're just out here telling the stories. Back in my day, let me tell you about this Entity 7 in Hyper Battle of Ruins.
And dude, that battle was legendary, though, because that's what started the trash talk in the venue, and I know me and you, Hot Juice, were very excited about that. You remember Stars popping off at E7, and then E7, kind of backed away from that. But over the past couple of days, when they know where their standings are on the leaderboard, they kind of just said, all right, let's just make this battle legendary. Inco in the replays waking up a bit, starting to slay out and looking decently well. A great game, though, for Death Wolves. I'm glad to see them get a couple of points right. 5. They know their big day is tomorrow. Today is about maintaining what they got. Alpha 7 with 12 themselves. Be Bold, though, a team that seems to be the boogeyman of so many other rosters out there today, Hot Juice.
There's always one. There's always one. Every tournament, there's somebody on the lobby who doesn't have anything to lose, that just starts just crushing hopes and dreams. And it just so happens it's Be Bold. I mean, they've done it all day today. You can only imagine what they're going to do tomorrow.
But here, this is what I really want to talk about. That play was great from Federal. So he's the last one alive. He He has to try and secure a third place tip, and he does so, right? So that's big. You're getting more placement points. You only get 5 eliminations, but I feel that pop-off play, that pop-off moment from Federal gives faith that Influence Rage could potentially have a strong 2 games going back into Miramar and then Erangel. So I'm glad Federal finally showed and put in some work.
It wouldn't be the first time we've seen someone on their double points day have massive games in drops 5 and 6. I mean, Team Liquid Wink 1, you're welcome. But Influence Rage grabbing 20 points right there is just salvaging, because there's a name that's missing from this top 8, and it's going to be Furia.
Yeah, Furia, right? Furia just... Where are they at? In terms of the standings go, well, they had a great game number 3, and 9th place, 3 eliminations, just not enough. 3 points, right, Hot Jukes? So they had that flash in the pan play. We're getting excited for them, and then they're right back where they started the day off, right? Just kind of lackluster performances.
Good. I'm going to say good.
Wow,
I'm going to be toxic.
the hater.
That's right. I am a Furia hater because honestly, they have not played well enough in this tournament, I think, to deserve that spot to the Esports World Cup. You know, there's so many teams. You know, one of them in particular, I think Deathwolves should definitely be hunting down that spot tomorrow. The fact that they're even in this conversation here after the double points day they had with Group A, it makes me shocked. And just like that, it is passed up by Influence Rage. So if they want to prove me wrong and they want me to get up hyped about them, I need to see just Furia aggressive dominance here for the rest of the tournament.
So the good news for Eco Gaming fans and Eco Gaming as a whole, they sit in 3rd place. They just break 700 points at 701. They've got a really big lead over Influence Rage, who's in 4th place, and an even bigger lead over Deathwolves. So that means most likely Eco Gaming, especially if they finish strong in the last 2 games, drop 5 and 6, they might have just secured their 3rd place finish, their entry into group stages for obviously over at the Esports World Cup. So that's big, Tiff, right? 3rd place. It looks like Eco Gaming might be locking it in today.
Yeah, I think that's why we saw them so happy after that winner chicken dinner, right? Especially knowing that you grabbed 12 eliminations, a 22-point game, and you're just like, yes, I think we have done enough. Barring any historic run from Influence Rage in these final 2 matches, that's going to be the real difference maker.
Definitely is going to be. Influence Rage, see how far they continue to go up. Royals of War will drop down, so they're on now the 2nd page, something they have, or somewhere they haven't been in quite some time. They've got to get back up to that 1st page, especially if they want to increase the amount of money that they make overall from the America Spring season. N-Hyper still staying about where they are, but you got to give N-Hyper credit. At least today has been decent, although that last game wasn't necessarily the best. I still feel they're slaying out and they're being aggressive when they need to. E7, though, did get the best of them, which was pretty exciting. Hot Jukes going into game 5, right? It's kind of do or die for a lot of different rosters out there. Eco is now in a great spot. So realistically, the 4th place position is what is being fought for.
Yeah, 4th place is what's being fought for, but I mean, I still wouldn't take my eyes off of 3rd because Deathwolves have their double points day tomorrow, but Deathwolves need to start getting more solid here towards the end because there's not a lot of time left.
Not a lot of time left, and not a lot of time left today in general, right? Only 2 more maps to go. Miramar and then Erangel. The last chance for Group C during at least this 2024 Pubg Mobile Super League America Spring Season. Their last chance to make an impact. Will they do so? Well, it's up to them, right? Only 2 more maps to go. But I am excited to hear at least from Sarpatch, who's on site, to talk to Furious Archerson after their big game just a little bit earlier. Let's hear what Archerson had to say.
All right, here we are with Arturcin. I call him Arturito. Arturcin, great match today. Congratulations. How are you guys feeling? ¿Cómo están sintiendo? Parabéns. E parabéns por o jogo.
Muito obrigado, estamos sentindo muito bem. Só queremos pontuar e subir na tabela.
See, we're feeling great. It was a great match for us. We want to make more points and go up on the table. Yesterday was a tough day. Or a couple of tough days, but how are you guys feeling up to these 2 days? Ontem foi meio difícil, como você está sentindo agora esses 2 últimos dias?
Cara, foi difícil os últimos 2 dias, porque nós não pontuou o que nós queria pontuar, então tivemos a frieza de reconhecer o que erramos para acertar hoje e no seguinte dia que é amanhã.
Yeah, we had 2 tough days, but we sat down cold-headed and see what was the mistakes that we were doing to fix them. Last one, Adrian yesterday didn't play. What happened there? He's back now and playing well. O Adrian não jogou ontem, o que aconteceu aí?
O Adri estava com a dor na mão, ele não pôde jogar e a fisioterapeuta falou que ele não precisava jogar porque ele poderia piorar muito mais a mão. E decidimos ele ficar de repouso para jogar hoje tranquilo e amanhã também.
Yeah, he said that his hand was hurting. The doctor told him that he shouldn't play because he could be worse, but that they decided to take him back in the team. Mister, thank you very much. Let's go back.
The all-new 2024 Pubg Mobile Super League event PMSL Pass will be available from May 31st to June 30th. The PMSL Pass has 20 levels and only takes 500 UC to unlock. Get a Dark Arts Gentleman set immediately after purchase. After unlocking the PMSL Pass, you can view the missions and complete them to get points. Raise your pass levels, claim corresponding rewards. Plenty of rewards await you, including the Dark Arts Gentleman set, Dark Arts Gentleman glasses, Dark Legend Smoke Grenade, Dark Legend Avatar Frame, and the ultimate reward, Dark Legend UMP 45. To quickly raise your pass level, you can 1. Redeem points from Points Voucher redemption codes. You can start by using the redemption code 24PMSL Pass now. 2. Use UC purchase levels directly. After reaching the max level, every additional level reached will grant 1 PMSL crate. Additionally, you can gift the PMSL Pass to friends who meet the conditions. Send your friends a small gift and complete to see who unlocks the ultimate reward first. That's all for this introduction to the 2024 Pubg Mobile Super League event. Unlock the PMSL Pass, put on the Dark Arts Gentleman set with friends, and collect amazing rewards.
And welcome back, everyone, to the 2024 Pubg Mobile Super League America Spring Season, day number 14. I'm Taylor Reflection Snowball, joined by Hot Jukes and Spider Tiff. 2 more games to go. We're hopping back into Miramar, which was a great map for Team Queso, and hopefully is a good map once again, given the fact that they have a lot of ground to cover and only a short amount of time to do it. Their chances of breaking into top 4 are starting to dwindle away, so they've got to grab the bull by the horns and, quite honestly, get a record-breaking Miramar as well as Erangel. We'll see if they can do that. Now, Hot Jukes, I do see you shaking your head, but I want you to maybe kind of nod a little bit for Federal, who put up a tremendous performance as a solo to score top 3. And again, that narrative, is that what Influence Rage needed? I hope so, man, because I don't think their story is over just yet.
Dude, that was disgusting. That play towards the end just got me so hyped. I know I got their teammates hyped as well. I mean, you got to get in that mindset. Towards the end, we got everything on the line. You got to kind of just get in your head, just be like, I'm the Reaper, dude. And just start taking out everybody. And I think that was the mindset he had right there, because that was clean.
It was clean, wasn't it? It was really nice to see. Got me pumped up without question. But Tiff, be bold, right? Now they have to deal with them once again, potentially, if they don't change up their landing spot. Influence Rage has exactly what it takes to beat Be Bold, but They haven't been able to do it today. I'm hoping they don't have any nerves about that because most likely they won't meet again.
They will, and honestly, you just need to run off the back of the performance that Hotchukes was just talking about. Kind of take that mindset, try to change it, because at the end of the day, you've just gotten back into 4th place, right? Just 20 points to be able to kind of carry through. It's the last 2 drops of your final double points day, and the difference is, do you want to make a play for that potential top 3, unseat Inco, or at least get closer to it to maybe have it in your grasp for the final day? Don't leave things to chance, but do your best here for sure.
That's it. Well, good news is for Influence Rage yesterday on Miramar, exactly where we are, map number 5. They got a winner chicken dinner with 11 eliminations. That would be 42 points. That would be huge for them to take. And then would start the conversation of, okay, is 3rd place actually up for grabs? Eco Gaming is sitting in with a very comfortable lead at the moment, but the absolute certainty, 42 points would get them very, very close and would definitely make not only Eco nervous, but Death Wolves nervous as well if they don't start to wake up in these next 2 maps. But I do get a little bit worried for everybody else. Normally the conversation revolves around Alpha 7 and Team Liquid. Alpha 7's been having a standout day today, Hotchukes.
Yeah, they've been doing great. They're closing that gap with Team Liquid. They're going to really leave it all on the line tomorrow because that gap is just not getting past it today. Pretty much no matter what Alpha 7 does, but it can easily be passed tomorrow. And I'm hyped to see Alpha 7 start playing that aggressive play style that we've been waiting to see, right? They're getting those early eliminations. They're hunting them down. So that's great. But like you mentioned, Taylor, right? If we see Influence Rage get that game they had yesterday, they're going to be close because right now that gap is 63 points. I did the math, right? So 63 points in order to get to 3rd. And I think that's what they really, really need to do because, yeah, Death Wolves are going to have their day tomorrow as well. You just don't want to leave it up to chance.
63 points, man. Federal honestly has to be the difference maker. I mean, he's the guy that, in my opinion, has to lead the charge here. Because he's the one who's performing like when Influence Rage is doing okay, like they did in the last game. He was the one who was leading the charge, whether it was incredible plays or eliminations. Federal is the guy. And actually, Tiff, Hotchukes mentioned that. It's like you need one guy on your team if you're a competitor to just say, let's go, right? And get your team ready to go. I'm looking at Federal. I hope he's going to be the man to bring it all together. But like I said, and constantly say, it's up to the players to choose their own destiny. We're the ones who tell the story. They're the ones who, implement at least the chapters. I cannot wait to see how this one is going to unfold. Miramar is exciting to begin with, but it's even more exciting to know what's at stake. There's only 8 games remaining for the America Spring season, and you need to make the most as a competitor out of each and every one. Let's head into it. Map number 5 on Miramar. Let's see who makes the most of it. Hotchukes, Spider Tiff, take it away.
Oh boy, it all comes down to this. You heard the man say it, 8 games left, and we do not have very many Miramars left. This will be the 3rd to last one here, Tiff. So if you're Influence Rage, you did well yesterday. At this point in time, you got to have a repeat performance. You have to. So let's see. They're actually going to be the first ones outside of the plane heading toward Puerto Payaso. Let's see if... no, it doesn't look like anybody's headed their way. So regardless of where the zone goes, Influence Rage most likely going to have to make a big rotation.
It's true. I mean, this is the map they did win yesterday, and I would love to see them be able to do the same today. For now, you just got to keep your eyes out and just make sure that B-Bold doesn't get crazy here.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at B-Bold, so they're going to be heading towards Minas Generales, so nothing too crazy. Eco Gaming, they just went off a great chicken dinner, so we didn't get to talk about them so much, but they need to do the same thing Influence Rage did, right? They won the last game. They need to use that momentum to rocket launch them to victory here. So we're going to see where the zone goes. It's going to be a southern one, so Inco most likely not having to move too much. Team Gesso are in a great position as well, and Influence Rage aren't too far away from this, and if they head into this circle, they can go against some of the, weaker squads so far in the lobby, like Entity 7, 9Z, even Rolls of War have been having a rough day today. So let's see if Influence Rage can capitalize off that.
A lot of rough days all around, but something that's interesting is where you see teams that have shaken things up and Hyper have moved into that Furia drop spot, as Furia has once again chosen to go towards the north, abandoning that drop so far for today. Now, and Hyper will have the entire south side to their own, and as that zone kind of centers up, including their drop, they can really decide where they want to kick things off with.
They sure can, and let's just see how it gets kicked off here. So no crazy hot drops, nothing out of the ordinary just yet. So, oh man, you can just definitely feel the tension in the air here because this tournament's almost over, and there are so many squads looking to punch their ticket to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Man, that's going to be a crazy time here. And let's just see. Let's see if Udia could even have a crazy bounce back because they're not technically out of the game yet. It's just a lot's going to have to work out for them in order to make that happen.
Well, I mean, might as well rotate around in style because this just looks fun. And this is a team that just got booted out of 4th place because Influence Rage did move up by 20 points. So if I'm Furia coming into this game knowing that I am yet again back and I need to fight my way in and have to be perfection, this is a team that needs to go sort out Influence Rage by themselves.
Yeah, they do. Like, honestly, that's what you have to do. You have to shut down Influence Rage today, and you have to shut down Death Wolves tomorrow. That's the strategy if you're Furia. And honestly, the reason why I said good is because I just don't see them doing that. They've been playing it very, very passive. They do put themselves in good positions, but when it comes to kind of rolling those dice and making those kind of bold plays, Furia doesn't seem to do that. They err on the side of caution. And right now, they need to start getting a little bit reckless. They have to take those bets.
They don't take it bets. I just want Influence Rage to go crazy this game. I want a 12 elimination at least to win.
Ooh.
I'm calling it. That's what I need to see, and I just need them to follow up on it. We don't need Law going down, getting caught out from some crazy angle from 200 meters away. Need them to stay up, live their best life, and frag.
Survive, Law. Let's see if he's gonna. He's in that dodge, ready to get moving here. He's gonna be gassing it up too, so it's gonna be filled to the brim here, Tiff. So it looks like you heard what you were saying.
Hey, get active, baby. Get active.
About time.
Let's go.
Right? That's right. Oh, let's see just where he is going to go, though. He's going to be the scout for the team, so he's going to be heading out pretty early here. And looking at this zone, yeah, so Law, I'm sorry. Law's going to be the first one on the road. This entire side of the zone is wide open, so they can pretty much pick the top here.
That's true.
First battle.
And it's Royals of War. We've already lost out on Victix down and, well, trying to chill inside the building. Entity 7 on the outskirts, looking for angles. They're already making plays. Can we hit the full onto them? I'm not too sure. Air God grabs it off onto Deblim. There comes the full, and wow, the chaos is ensuing.
Yep, Royals of War taking advantage of the last place team here, just flushing them out little by little. So that's 3 players down. They know where Franco is. Yeah, Coco needs to get in the vehicle and try to hunt them down. They need all the points they can get because Royals of War, double points day has been abysmal. Maybe they could try to make a crazy comeback, but they need like 15 elimination chicken dinner back to back.
All right, Franco. Get in there. Go ahead. You can probably got some information. Probably just saw Justice shoulder. Moves to the second story. And I feel like once someone takes that position on the second, okay, we're going up again. The fire says maybe not. Run straight into it. We're burning. We are burning. It is crazy. And finally, some semblance of just, okay, well. Goodbye.
Hey, sometimes you gotta shoot the gas can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Deny the points.
Sure. It just had to go out in a Michael Bay level explosion. It's fine.
I mean, I saw him go out in slow motion. That was poetic, to be honest.
Goodbye, Entity 7. We'll see you next time. One more chance here on Aaron Gale today for match day number 14. But
chance for what?
Anything.
Not last place?
Sure.
Let's go. Entity 7, come on. Challenge SLR. I want to see it.
You might as well. If I'm Entity 7, I am just hot dropping on SLR every single game.
As we watch this back, Franco, let's see it. Dun, 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 dun,
in the arms of an angel.
That's right. Oh, and he flew away in style. Beautifully done there. Be bold, punch in the air, because all they want to do is destroy dreams, and They had Team Liquid at their sites, and I think they did. Did they not? Yeah, they got one of the players from Team Liquid.
Team Liquid's like, bro, just leave us alone.
Stop.
We have 909 points. We are going to Riyadh. We don't need this.
That's right. And I'll tell you what, be bold doing this is a bold strategy, Tip, because guess what? These teams remember, So come the fall, yeah, look at that. Be bold, sniping out one of the players of Team Liquid. The more you grief teams like this, come next season, they can do the same exact thing to you.
They just might also. So for now, Be Bold picks up one, grabs the bus, hits the rotation. We'll see them later. But for now, as that zone is still relatively central here for stage one, I'd be curious to see if we get a dramatic shift in the play zone, because I want things to get even more chaotic than we've seen. This will do it.
Oh boy, let's see right now. It's Cold Goat. 3 eliminations so far for Rolls of War. Look at own Los Leones Alliance. They are holding it down here for now. So the next zone, we'll see where it's going to pop. Influence Rage in a pretty solid position here. Team Gessel are dead center. And this is a big one here. Meanwhile, look who Beeble's looking at. Inko. Are you kidding me?
Do it. Do it.
That was evil. That was an evil laugh right there.
You might as well.
All the teams. I mean, you're not wrong. If you're Be Bold, you got nothing to lose here. And look, they're getting on the move. Maybe they heard that laugh.
I mean, Inco Gaming is pretty solidified in the top 3. I'm convinced that they'll somehow withstand everything. Just you think about their double points day. It was a miraculous, record-breaking double points day for a team, and it put them into the top 3. And they've just been able to withstand any threats for now. And that big threat was Influence Rage coming into this day. The only thing that they're going to have to contend with is going to be Death Wolves tomorrow. And that's an 80-point differential as it currently stands, which is a 40-point day on a double points day. So that turns into 80. I mean, look, Death Wolves shook things up today. They could be there.
They could be there. They could be there indeed. Info Law's in trouble. That dodge is on fire. One more bullet should do it. He has to sit it out. And he gets there just in the nick of time. That was close.
See, told you I'm worried about rogue shots from a distance with Law. I don't know why. Everyone gets him caught out on these rotations, on these angles, and it starts to spell the demise for Influence Rage. So I'm going to need them to keep Law close.
Oh boy, I'm real close, because that, I'll tell you what, was too close for comfort. That is for sure. That was scary. So we'll see right now what happens is Bilovan on the move. Influence Rage just need to set up. They need to quit doing these crazy rotations. Just fight together.
You said it.
You can't afford to go out like that. If you're going to go out, might as well go out, with your weapon in your hand rather than a crazy rotation in a vehicle.
Yeah, live life like N-Hyper today. It's exactly what they've been doing. They've been fragging out all throughout our earlier drops. We got a little NRG Galaxy versus Furia elsewhere. J7 on your screen now. Looking to see what we can do. This big isolated fight over here. We've got the car for cover. Specto still looking for angles. Instead, we're hitting the bush. It's fine.
Oh, Furia. That's it. This is going to be it. This is the nail in the coffin for them. Nice shot there, though. But, oh my gosh, no way. I was about to say, did he get that crazy? How has he had that much time to continue to shoot? Finally gets shut down there. As NRG are going to look to pick Spec back up. There's Kaiovsky, last player up for Furia. And that is pretty much all she wrote. One more game left for them to try to put a dent into that third place position.
This is really unfortunate that the moment they touched the survival stage slot, it was pretty much their death sentence for the remainder of the games.
It's tough.
There might be an actual curse on that slot.
It really is. It really is. Everybody gets that slot just suffers a terrible and slow and painful demise. And look at this next zone, though. Inco Gaming, pretty happy because they are going to be on that southern Picalo area. They're going to be hanging out near Sin City. As a matter of fact, Nanabeth is still inside of it. They're going to get moving here soon. SLR, meanwhile, dead center. They got their eyes 360 all around them. But it looks like Dragon is keeping an eye there on inactive.
Ooh, okay. Well, Sean, let's see where we've kind of set ourselves up. And yeah, the zone kind of moves out towards that eastern side, almost relatively central. And for N-Hyper, they're going to have to fight their way on in for that south side. So that'll be interesting to see. And Inco Gaming still trying to rotate on in, but it seems like we're still really preoccupied looking towards our south there for SLR.
Very classic. Here's FS is on the move. And yeah, SLR just looking to have some fun here and continue their second to last place. They do not want to get passed up by Entity 7.
Definitely not.
Don't want to do that. Be bold, though. Be bold. They're looking to get into the mix as well, as they always do. They're on the north side here. Oh, that's against NRG. Yeah, so NRG, just get in the vehicles, rotate around. There is no reason to fight this so far in the blue.
Fate's like, don't worry, homie. Get in. We got to go elsewhere.
Right.
At least they're going to be able to catch up with J7. Good. 3 eliminations for them thus far over the Death Wolves on 0. But look who's just ahead of them. Milo Van falls to Higo, and, well, that's going to open the door.
That is going to open the door indeed. Oh, boy. Law, meanwhile, starting to press the issue here. And he's going to look to try to pick up Milovan. He's got that many. And Federal's actually, so that nice little teamwork right there. And neither team knows who this is yet. So Federal's going to pop him up into the vehicle, and he is out of here.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Save him.
You can pick up your teammates in terms of vibes. You can physically grab them in game, hit the reset because they know that they needed this. We cannot afford to lose any players this early on, considering into stage 3, we still have 15 teams up, and knowing that we're still kind of just towards the southwest of Picado and Team Queso dead center of the play zone, but it's Death Wolves who are on the outside still looking in, trying to find their footing ahead of their double points day tomorrow. Would be good to start shaking some points up, at least putting them their way for now.
Would be good indeed. Let's take a look as Guizal is climbing up to the high ground here of this building, all the way to the top floor. Next zone, where is it going to head? Will it send her up? Or will we get a crazy hard shift? It goes down south. That's a great shift for N-Hyper and for Death Wolves. Meanwhile, yeah, Alpha 7 in the mix. So many top teams here that need these points are so desperately are still in this game.
Okay. There we go. 9Z on the other side. Stars looking to take an off angle. Caprice hitting the full on to Connor. So at least we've got our focus in check. But they've got the time, they've got the positioning, and can really focus on the gatekeep. You just can't let anyone wrap you, because Elite's still throwing frags straight into AGG, picks up Guapo.
Uh-oh, yep, nice little nade there from 9Z. I'm just going to keep my eye, though, on the field, because I definitely need to keep an eye on these teams that need these points. So we're going to continue to watch this action here. 9Z been pretty active here towards the end. I like to see 9Z step it up. It's always good to see some teams, really show a lot on their final days.
Very true. Very true. I mean, look, this is like my final 2 games that I get to witness here. And, well, Padrino still doing more work over here. 9Z, it's just a lot of people tossing a potato back and forth. And Fran in here with Padrino. And Simple says, no, you're not going to get away with that. But the off angle comes through. Stars finally had that payoff.
Yep, Star said, yes, you will. Yes, you will, because All Glory Gaming barely sneak away right there. And then Hyper getting active. Titan Gaming against Be Bold. Man, all these teams at the bottom are taking each other out, leaving these, big squads that need points. Oh, this is a big one. Nice. It's 7 getting a nice knock on a Kogo. Gets knocked in return. The rest of the team is not here. That's a huge loss for Inco.
Rather unfortunate. Mind you, something more unfortunate is Federal hitting that fall somewhere off screen. Vitali trying to hold their own, but finally turns around, takes the DBS, and just says, all right, look, I'm sorry. That was a throw.
Well, that was crazy. They flew right above him in the vehicle. Vitali was like in a blender being like, where am I getting shot from? I do not see them. And they pop on down and get the finish. So another big fight. Here we go. Influence Rage. Oh, beautiful nade. And guess who it is? It's B-Bolt once again. These guys are in an Influence Rage's head. Law needs to hit this shot. He misses by just an inch. Luckily for him, though, Redox gets a knock on Lorazin. Perfect timing here for Influence Rage.
All right, Milovan. Let's see what you got over here. Redox, though, picks up an elimination, and Fran gets fooled. B-Bold has fallen, but now can we find the angles to put that pressure straight back onto NRG? You know, you got a duo left standing. They're already on 4 eliminations, but Influence Rage only has 1, and they just start to disengage, get out of dodge, and basically say, we don't want to fall here.
Yeah, we cannot afford to. We need to put up some serious points here. They have 1 elimination. Inco Gaming get eliminated by SLR. That opens the door for Influence Rage. Right here, right now, Influence Rage, they had to have seen that. This is their chance to put up some major points on the board.
We're coming in with only 3 members left standing. We did lose Diego early on, so it's going to make things more challenging. And Milovan is kind of off by himself right here. You can see the 2 vehicles are not going to be in use to make a play towards. And, well, Milaz isn't going to want to let that happen. We got to take our chances where we can, but trying to find the off angles from the high ground. Maybe we pick up elimination here, or maybe you go thank Titan Gaming to be able to seal the deal there on Milaz.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen at this point here. You can see them getting in the vehicles and are ready to take off here. That Bugatti is ready to go. It's backing up into him saying, hey, let's get out of here because we need to find our way into this next zone. And it's going to be hard because they're going to have to push past, out of all the teams, it's Alpha 7. Meanwhile, and Hyper right over here by Church, getting into it with All Glory Gaming. Fran frantically running up on top of the hill, barely dodging those nades.
Oh, this is going to be interesting for sure, but we need to see some big eliminations going the way. Fran Pedrino, FS picks up 1, and Hyper, though, not afraid to chow anyone today.
Not at all. And Hyper, nothing to lose here, looking to break through that first page and end up in a solid position for a North American team. And they still have everybody up here. It's just Pedrino. So they got to be a little bit careful. But now, oh, look at that. Alpha 7 against Influence Rage. They did make the push. And Alpha 7 just straight up stiff-armed him. That's got to hurt.
It really, truly does. Kind of wild over here. But NRG Galaxy falling with 4 eliminations. And, well, Law still up. And is going to be on their own, man. Influence Rage can't get anything going. This is just heartbreaking to witness.
Yeah, it's just Law. Last player up. Gonna try to make the push here. Let's see what he does. He might just deny the point. Oh, yeah, that shot, he just said, "This, I really want to make something happen," but it's looking like it's just not gonna happen.
Well, maybe we go for some placement points, try to make the best out of a bad situation, but those shots are clean. I'll take those.
Now, I can't believe it. What a shot right there. And, you know, he wanted to go for the thirst, but Blue Zone's going to be too powerful, and that's Influence Rage out of there. And a tough finish, especially considering that Inco went out early.
Oh, well, 2 eliminations, or 1 elimination, 2 points, thanks to double points day. It's not enough, but I mean, you're still in 4th place, and if I'm at Furia, knowing that I need some points to move the issue, and I've only got 1 up, it's tough. So we all look towards Death Wolves to make something magnificent out of this.
Yeah, let's see what happens. As FS getting, just trying to hold on there. Team Liquid are in a solid position. They're just shooting at everything that moves outside of those windows. So nothing to worry about for them. Meanwhile, Death Wolves are going to take the hillside. So many teams that need these points are still up in this game. You got Team Liquid, Team Kessel, Death Wolves, Alpha 7, and even a player from Worlds of War, but not much he can do it just as a solo. Let's take a look here where this next zone's going to go. Centers on up right on the Team Kessel. This is a big chance for them. Can they finish strong?
I hope so, because if we have Team Queso all up, all alive, we're getting centered up on, this is your chance to finally put those double points to an even better use. You got 36 points on that initial drop 2 of Miramar. Do we go back to back on Miramar?
That would be huge. That would be so huge for Team Kessel. You can see them just laser focused right now, but they can't get too tunnel vision. They got to keep their eyes on the prize here and look pretty much 360 because anybody could come and crash on them from pretty much any direction. There's so many teams here. SLR is going to have to make a push here soon. Titan, even Alpha 7. And Milos is focusing on one of the players from SLR out in the zone. So, this is starting to make... their heart rates have got to be at all-time high, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. That adrenaline starting to kick in, and you're like, okay, we're in top 9. We just have to focus on our lane. We can defend the north. For Titan Gaming here, though, 5 eliminations. That's some nice moves here for their double points, but a relatively open field, and, well, we're just trying to get our homies out of the way if we can. Alpha 7 full inting on a Death Wolves, though.
Yeah, and here they go, and rightfully so. They needed to make a push, and out of all the teams, it's Death Wolves that are taking the Alpha 7 punishment. Alpha 7 doing a great job of just getting eliminations early today. They have definitely closed that gap between them and Team Liquid. Titan Gaming forced to hit the deck as Redox, gets a nice shot onto Revo there. Revo going to have to get res pretty quickly, and look at that. Alpha 7 so quick to get that res off.
Yeah, you've got to do exactly that, especially if we're looking for angles here in Death Wolves, just full sending any kind of frag grenades down onto Titan Gaming, just imploding them. And how many do we have? Guazo out there cooking another.
Looks good. Oh, just short. I mean, they have so many nades, but none of them are hitting. Somehow Titan Gaming is just surviving. Oh, but that one is going to finally tick. And Inactive needs to hit one of these nades here in return. Oh, just a little bit short and gets caught by that nade as well. You can't be resing right here. You got to know that nade's coming. Oh, but you can get that res off if Dory makes that push. Little do you know, Guazao was right behind that door.
That was almost something. Let's be real. We get the res, bringing a limb back to their feet, and now we just need a full send up, see if we can clean out the rest of the Death Wolves. There should only be one, a nice 2v1 if we can close the distance. I can't imagine that anyone's going to have any nades on that side because how many they sent down on a Titan.
Yeah, let's see what Titan Game can do. Last 2 players up. A nice game so far, and unfortunately, all the eliminations are on the players that just got taken out. Revo just gets shot from Mythic of all people. That's a battle that needs to happen, so they don't know who it is just yet, but I guarantee you if Team Liquid realized that this was Alpha 7, they would be hardcore just focusing on this area.
Yeah, well, Revo is currently down. They're on 6 eliminations. Pretty powerful considering Royals of Roar are the only ones out fragging them right now with 7 eliminations left to a duo. But some of these teams just love soaking up, but we see where that zone centers up to in SLR. Team Queso should be able to waltz right in. They'll have to leave their building, but hopefully we can find some angles to work with and check it out. Guazao in a really precarious situation.
He's got to make a play. He's got to make a play here for Death Wolves against Titan Gaming. It's a 1v2 situation. Oh, Lim's got the nade. Oh, he's got the DBS. Guazao runs out of the open, gets the 1v1, but loses it. I will say this, though. Team Queso are in a great spot, Tiff, but they have 0 eliminations. They need to start getting some here soon.
They really do. They really do. But just like what we witnessed from Hyper in that game number 1, the last time we saw them in such a powerful position on Erangel, we're like, look, this is a great position, but they have 0 eliminations. Then we go deal with the rest of the lobby for a little bit. We come back and they're on 5. Then they start creeping up and they eventually took that win with 7. So maybe Team Queso can take one from their books.
See what happens. Potro does get 1 knock there. That could be a good elimination if he's able to get the finish. Let's see if he's able to. But meanwhile, yeah, Team Queso doing a great job. They need to focus on clearing their backs first and then look inwards. Potro gonna get the confirmation. That's 1. And they need to pretty much finish this entire lobby here if they want a shot at that automatic ticket to Riyadh.
Ooh. Let's see it unfolding. Our last match of Miramar on the day. 7 squads left. Someone's going to be breaking double-digit eliminations here. And Hyper finds Cardozo from a distance. Hits the full. That's unfortunate if you're Team Liquid. Down to a duo and 0 elims for the game.
Alpha 7 going to try to hit some low tosses here probably in the next few seconds. But Tom's looking straight up, though. Almost getting ran over, and it does end up happening. McGrellan gets the run over on Capri's, and that is N-Hyper done for. 9 eliminations for Alpha 7. This is where they really start to ramp things up. This could be a huge game for them.
Yeah, but SLR starting to go through Team Queso right now. SLR falls, but do we lose any members? Can we hit the reset? Can we go back to 4?
Team Queso finally move out of their buildings, and they're able to take out SLR, but they need to win this game. This is a huge, necessary win for Team Queso. Alpha 7, 9 eliminations. They've already done so much. Their double points day is tomorrow. This is Team Queso's last chance.
Right. Portra on your screen. Royals of War have fallen. 8 eliminations, still solid for them. We have a limb just ahead of them. But the biggest threat that's left in the lobby is going to be Alpha 7 on the south side.
Yeah, Team Liquid with just 2 players up, stuck just outside of the zone. There's no way he runs out of the open there, so he may just deny these points. But a limb is just hiding in this vehicle. Nobody's even looking in this direction. Yeah, look at that. They're laughing. They're laughing here as they watch Team Queso drive by, and they cannot believe it. He's going to survive. He's going to survive even longer. Silence is right there, and they still don't see him in the backseat.
Do you see this? They're like, shh, it's fine. Everything's fine. Don't even speak. Don't say anything. They're going to hear you. Like, they're going to hear you. No!
Oh, no way! A limb ruining the dreams of Team Queso. Milos was just turned around instantly to try and help his teammates and wasn't able to do so. A limb crushing the dreams of Team Queso.
Down to a duo. A duo.
Oh, Milos shutting down Alpha 7. Are you kidding me? In a 1v2, what a clutch play.
Okay, well, this makes a big difference from what we just witnessed. Now you got Milos last standing from Team Queso. You've got 1 member of Titan Gaming left, and Alpha 7 brought down to a duo. Mafioso on your screen, but a limb is going to take out Team Queso. So a 1v2 situation here for Titan Gaming.
Are you kidding me? A limb just destroys Team Queso all by himself. He kicks 3 players down, and Alpha 7 said, okay, that's enough. They get the chicken dinner after that one in glorious fashion. So many eliminations. They're going to be hunting down Team Liquid tomorrow, Tim.
They really are, but I'm grateful for them to grab the double-digit eliminations after we asked for the ending on 11 with 2,300 damage. Gotta feel good.
Throwing up the hearts. That is how you finish off the day. But Taylor, OM, are you kidding me?
I love that we had the picture-in-picture with the players, though, able to